But at the end of the day, she was not able to score again, so it forced Lucretia Edwards and Karen Easley, who had big games. We talked about last game that we need Lucretia Edwards to have a big game, and she's been having those double-figure games that need to bring Fordham in. But then majority of the rest of the team only had about 2 points each. You need more players in double figures, or at least over 5 points, Anthony.
Absolutely, Kurt. Just about set to go here from Richmond, Virginia, as both teams taking the court. We'll start off with the Fordham Rams out there right now. Mason Hill, Karen Easley, Lucretia Edwards, Emma Wilson-Saltos, and Kayla Berry. Rams rocking the maroon jerseys, maroon shorts with white letters, numbers, and stripes. And as for VCU, rocking the white jerseys, white shorts, gold numbers, gold stripes. And on the floor for them, Sierra Griffin, Deja Preston, and Zachariah, Laya Crespin, and Lucia Sotelo. It'll be Sotelo and Emma Wilson-Saltos for the tip-off.
Classic battle of the Rams, Anthony. Fordham and VCU knotted up in the season series 7-7 all time. So either of these teams has a chance to get a leg up for a winning record against their conference opponent.
They're very even, 3-3 home record and away record, and 1-1 neutral record. Just about set to go, the tip-off, and we are underway from Virginia. Fordham wins tip. They're going left to right. VCU is going right to left, and it's Easley with the ball. Over on the far side. Trying to take a screen from Wilson-Saltos, unable to. Passes it along to Kayla Berry in the right wing. Berry off to Lucretia Edwards. Moves over to the middle. Bounce pass to Emma Wilson-Saltos, and she misses the layup. Rebound gathered in by Mason Hill. Offensive possession continues for Fordham. Right wing, it's Karen Easley. Easley retreats back with Sierra Griffin on defense. Easley driving to the left side. Passes it over Berry, and she kisses one in. But a foul is called. It's going to be on Easley for an offensive charge. And those 2 points, no good for Fordham.
That was a great play by Fordham. The second chance points by Fordham the entire time, trying to keep the possession alive. Yet again, that was great heads-up playing by VCU, taking the charge, not allowing Fordham to get the first score on the board. Now Fordham has to keep VCU out of the paint, keep them on the line, force them to shoot threes. This is not a great VCU shooting team, so make them take those threes.
Over in the top of the arc, ball comes loose. It's Mason Hill hitting the deck, easily winds up with it in the left wing. Trying to pass it along to her teammate, gets deflected, and she somehow gets it back, and back up top to Mason Hill. Just a minute in, a scoreless game so far between Fordham and VCU. Easily over to Mason Hill on the left wing. Dribbles and takes a step back three, it's no good. Bounces off the side of the rim, rebound gathered in by Griffin. Passes it along. It's Preston over there on the far side. Now back out to Crespin. Sizes up easily. Crespin, the top of the key. Now over to Zachariah on the left wing. 13 left on the shot clock. Top of the paint. Back to Crespin. Left wing. Near side corner, it's Griffin. Bounce pass over to Sotelo. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Fordham ball. And VCU yet to put up a shot.
Right there, Fordham getting into the VCU's hair, not allowing them to get a good shot up, Anthony, as well as clogging all of the passing lanes that they might be using. Maybe Fordham not going for a steal, which they like to do, second in the A-10 in steals, but instead of doing that, they just take over the court and not allow them to pass to anybody, keeping that zone that they love to run so much away from VCU.
2 minutes in, still no score. Mason Hill cutting through the right side. Mason Hill drives up, puts up the layup. No good. Another offensive foul. The shot actually went in. And now we're going to get a substitution here. Here comes Alexis Black. First game for Alexis Black since their game against St. Joseph's. And boy, oh boy, is Fordham happy that they have her back out there.
Oh man, Anthony, am I more excited to see Alexis Black back. Hasn't played since St. Joe's, but again, one of the best scorers in the nation as well as the A-10. Best in steals, field goal percentage, and threes. Exciting to see her back.
Crespin pass to Zachariah, and she travels on the baseline. Disagrees with the call. That's Alexis Black there on defense, already making an impact.
Alexis Black showing her presence on the defensive and offensive side of the court. You know what's even better, Anthony? I'm not sure VCU knew that Alexis Black might play, so there might not have been as much preparation for her. So VCU might be all over the place trying to defend her as well.
And you got to wonder what the game plan is going for Alexis Black as Kayla Berry has it. Short corner shot. No good. Misses the rim. Rebound gathered in by Preston. 7.5 to go. Still no score. Preston driving through the paint. puts up the layup. It's no good. Out of bounds as Caleb Berry tried to gather in the rebound but slaps it out. And it's going to be VCU ball with 7:18 to go. Still looking for the first basket of the game.
VCU is going to try to start pushing the pace because they're not used to what this Fordham defense is doing, playing man coverage. So what VCU is going to try to do, push the pace a lot more, play a lot faster, but that's going to cause a lot more mistakes. Another reason why there hasn't been a bucket in this game yet.
Zachariah back up top to Griffin. Sierra Griffin driving the left side. Pump fakes, now puts up a shot. Gets 2 Fordham players to miss and puts in the 2. A 2-0 lead for the VCU Rams' first basket of the game. Easily over on the left wing now as Fordham tries to find an answer. In the left elbow, tries the jumper. No good. Rebound is up for grabs with Zachariah and Lucretia Edwards. Going to be a jump ball, possession arrow, points in favor of VCU. So they'll get the ball back under 7 to play here in a 2-0 game.
That Sariah Griffin play on the other side of the court, Anthony, to get that first score was so impressive. That stop and then the 2 Fordham defenders just sliding, unable to do anything after she stops on a dime and then puts up that shot with no one left to go. Sariah Griffin has been the one that has to step up for this VCU team ever since Marianne Assar has been out, their leading scorer with 17 points a game. She's been out since George Mason earlier in December, so she's had to be the one to step up and start scoring for this VCU team.
McKenna White in for VCU, passes it up top to Lucy Gaffon. Now over on the right wing, it's Crespin. McKenna White tries the short corner jumper. It's no good. Actually winds up in the hands of Gaffon, and she puts in the layup. Working on Precious Omashola, who just checked in, along with Serto Teta. And with 6.5 to go in the first quarter, Fordham in search of their first point, down 4-0.
Chiffon just bullying Precious Omashola with her size, backing her down in the paint and just getting whatever she wants at the basket.
Easily cross-court pass up top, Alexis Black. Right wing, Lucretia Edwards going to let it fly off the back iron. Rebound gathered in by Crespin. She dashes down the court. Up ahead to Preston on the left wing. Spinning around Alexis Black, back up top. It's McKenna White as they slow things down. Bounces it over to Gaffon. Lucy Gaffon, nice move on Omashola, and she finds another basket. 6-0 lead here with just under 6 to play in the first quarter. Fordham offensively struggling on all cylinders.
Gaffon right now just getting whatever she wants at the basket because Precious Omashola is being backed down by her with her size. She needs a lot of help.
Lucretia Edwards, left wing triple, bullseye! Fordham's on the board. Lucretia Edwards, who else to knock down a triple? It's a 6-3 lead now.
It's great to see Lucretia Edwards letting it fly. Misses her first couple shots, but keeps it going. Great for Lucretia Edwards.
Gaffon once again right under the basket. Nearly stripped away by Easley. Left wing, it's Preston. She'll try a triple. No good. Bounces off the bank. And it goes out to Lucretia Edwards as now she speeds down the court, slows things up, and up to Alexis Black. Lucretia Edwards now left wing triple. Misses the rim and goes right to McKenna White with 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's a 6-3 lead for the Rams in white.
Fordham currently shooting only 14% from the field, and that one shot was made by Lucretia Edwards from 3, which now they're shooting 25% from 3. All of those shots were made by Lucretia Edwards.
Driving through the middle of the paint. Floater put up by Preston is no good, but Precious Omashola, nobody near her, trying to gather in the rebound. Puts it out of bounds. So an offensive possession here for VCU that really should be for Fordham.
Definitely, Anthony, and that's something that is more heads-up basketball for the Fordham Rams, trying not to step out of bounds, trying, again, not to give VCU these extra possessions. Listen, this is a very tight defensive game right now. A good amount of mistakes have been had by both of these teams. 2 turnovers for Fordham, 3 turnovers for VCU. Just need some work and also help out on the low post. Right now, Fordham is not doing much of anything to help out Precious Omashola as well as their other bigs when Chiffon is backing them down. She has more size on them than anybody else, so they need some help there. Maybe throw 2 bigger people at her other than Karen Easley, who's half her size, and that's a great mismatch for Chiffon.
Quick media timeout with 4:44 to go here in the first quarter. It's a 6-3 lead in favor of VCU. We'll be back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
What's up, everyone? I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Joe Henry, your 2025 New York Jets beat reporters.
Follow along with us every Sunday as we cover and analyze all things JETS.
With a new quarterback at the helm, can Aaron Glenn right the ship and cause chaos in the AFC East?
Stay updated every week with game updates and recaps from @Brendan_Shorey
and @JoeHenry_4 on X.
WFUV, your home for Jets football.
And we welcome you back to the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia for this A-10 bout between Fordham and VCU in a low-scoring game here with just under 5 to play in the first quarter. A 6-3 score in favor of the Rams. Not the Fordham Rams, the VCU Rams here today, Kurt.
I don't think that's going to get much more difficult, Anthony, than it is all game. Not more confusing, but definitely Fordham needs some help with the scoring department. This has been something that they've had trouble with all season. Last game, only shooting 32% from the field against George Washington, and this VCU team only puts up even more of a threat because the amount of size that they give you, it's going to be a lot harder to get to your spots in the lane where Fordham likes to score. More than half of their points are always scored in the paint for both of these squads, so it's going to be quite tough. And Anthony, another tough thing is that there's not many people here. It was supposed to be a kids' day, but schools are closed in Virginia because it snowed quite a lot the last few days, and when we were driving here, I saw some of the streets looked like ice skating rinks.
And Kurt, you mentioned it. It almost feels like it's a quarantine game here in Richmond, Virginia, just because the lack of fans. And just it's a morning game as well. It's been a long day for us and for this Fordham Rams squad. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But as we're ready to check back into the game, it's Knezovic who inbounds it in to Griffin. Griffin pressured by three women. Right wing triple now. No good off the back iron. Shot was taken by McKenna Way as now multiple players hit the deck. Veljovic up for grabs. And Veljovic just going to stay there, take the jump ball. Fordham's going to stay with it. Possession arrow points their way.
Good job holding on to it by Veljovic, making sure Fordham got that possession, looked at the possession arrow, and knew that if it was a jump ball, Fordham would get it. Good basketball by Anastasia Veljovic, and for Fordham forcing that three-point shot for VCU.
Easily dashing down the court, going to try a free throw line, Jay, and hit it. Easily gets her first points of the game, 6-5 game. The lead is cut down to 1. Over 4 to play here in the first quarter. Out to the left wing, it's Griffin wide open. Now passes it along by to Gaffon, and she's got another 2 points as she uses the glass to her advantage again. Back to a 3-point game.
Just a defensive breakdown for Fordham there, leaving a wide open Gaffon to get right to the hoop with a mismatch with Emma Wilson-Saltos on her.
And Emma Wilson-Saltos misses the bunny off the pass from Serto Teta. And she's going to be looking back at film, regretting that shot. 8-5 score here. 3:45 to play in the first. Over on the left wing, it's White now back up top, and towards the right wing, Ty Williams. Saria Griffin now to near corner 3, and the foul! Knezovic from downtown.
Knezovic, a 30% free throw shooter on the year. Against Davidson, hit none of her three-point shots. And now Fordham giving a little bit too much to VCU, allowing them to hit that shot pretty much wide open when we look back at the replay. I know there was a hand in the face at the end of her release by Veljovic, but Fordham just has to be on their man just a little bit more because you don't want to allow those easy shots. Yet again, you like giving up those threes to VCU because they don't hit them at such a high clip. But as they get hot, they're going to start hitting them just a little bit more. They have 30% three-point shooters on this team all around, so they can do that.
4-point play for Knezovic. Entered this game 3 for 20 from deep in her last 6 games. Knocks down her first attempt of the game. Now a 7-point game with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Easily on the left wing, trying to engineer the offense. Tries to cut through the defense. But the ball's up for grabs. Alexis Black there. It's going to be a ball off the foot of Fordham, so it'll be VCU ball. And another offensive possession goes to waste here, Kurt.
VCU in the first half against Davidson was good at poking away the ball and getting those steals against Davidson for those extra possessions. Exactly what they did back there against Fordham.
Up top, Saria Griffin. back up top now. And the pass for Konezovic on the baseline with Wilson Saltos on her. Konezovic drives up to the rim and is fouled on the way up. Serta in disbelief of the call.
Listen, if you're going to try to shut down the paint against this VCU team, you also have to try not to foul. This Fordham team has struggled with fouling all season, but keep your hands up. That's the best way you can do it. I know that it's very compelling to try to reach in, grab the ball, steal it away, but at the end of the day, these A-10 refs are going to call these fouls on you, so you're going to have to figure a way to get the clean defense that Coach B always talks about and tries to practice in shoot-arounds, in the regular practices throughout the day. You just got to figure out a way to do that with 4 people in the paint trying to clog it. You got to make sure you just keep your hands up so you're not allowing those trips to the free throw line, because you just turned off 2 points to the basket, but now you're allowing 2 free points at the rim from the free throw line.
Konezovic, the Arizona transfer, sophomore out of Serbia, makes her first free throw. 78% free throw shooter. She knocks her first 13-5 game with 2:54 to go in this first period.
Anthony, this VCU team and this Fordham team quite similar with the amount of transfers as well as freshmen that they have. VCU having about 10 transfers and freshmen combined. Fordham having about the same number from last year. Definitely just, it's trouble with the new team format and NIL to keep teams together. So both of these rosters having a tough time gelling early in the season. Hopefully late in the season, both teams starting to get better.
Second free throw is good. 14-5 game. Lead as large as 9 for VCU now. With 2.5 to go, Tia Morgan on the left wing. With 10 on the shot clock. Cross-court pass, Lucretia Edwards in the right wing. Steps back now, driving to the right elbow. Top of the key, it's Mason Hill. Thought about the 3. Now trying to cut inside. Puts up the little floater with the left hand, and it's good to beat the shot clock. And a huge 2 points there for Fordham. Back to a 7-point game. In the right wing. And that pass from McKenna White goes out of bounds, intended for Tanya Kachenko. And a Fordham ball now is the offensive possession starting to go in their favor a little bit here.
Great job by Mason Hill on the other side of the court, diving under her man and then just going right up and touching it off the glass. An impressive play by Mason Hill. But yet again, this VCU team trying to not allow Fordham to set their defense, so they're running. They're not that great on the run. They have not had a lot of fast break points in this entire year. Last game, I believe it was only 2 against against Davidson. So this VCU team is not used to that.
Lucretia Edwards getting double teamed. Someone gets it out to Tia Morgan. Now far side corner 3 from Mason Hill. Pops out. Rebound gathered in by Crespin. Crespin on the left wing slows it up. Konezovic back up top to Crespin with 1:40 in the first quarter. A 14-7 game. VCU with the lead over Fordham. Right wing, Ty Williams. Ty Williams tries the floater. No good. Mason Hill clears the board. 1.5 to go. Rams down by 7.
Ty Williams was trying to sell the contact there by falling on the floor. The refs were not having that.
And a handoff from Mason Hill to Tia Morgan goes off the foot of Morgan. Second time we've seen that in this early game. And VCU is going to have possession here.
Yet again, little mistakes just start to add up. Already 4 turnovers for Fordham and 4 turnovers for VCU. Fordham needs to start profiting off of getting these extra possessions. Near
side corner 3, Zachariah, jackpot! 10-point lead now for VCU, their largest of the game so far. With 1 minute to play. Rams down by 10 here in this first quarter. Tia Morgan trying to dribble baseline. Tia Morgan bounces it out. Kayla Berry blocked on the way up by Kachenko. Gather for the ball as multiple players hit the deck, and Berry gets it out to Tia Morgan. Now Lucretia Edwards, 10 left on the shot clock. Short corner jumper off the attachment. Rebound gathered in by Berry. Now to the top of the key, it's Morgan. In the right wing, Mason Hill knifing through the defense. Tries the right-handed floater and an offensive charge. Now the 3rd time we've seen that in this first quarter, and nothing going in the way of Fordham here today.
I just can't believe it, Anthony. Those 3 VCU charges in 1 quarter, not something that you normally see very often. This VCU squad knew exactly what Fordham was going to be going into the paint quite often. And right there, setting their feet, taking the charge, yet again allowing for Fordham to turn the ball over and give VCU another possession with the clock winding down.
19 seconds left in the game. It's about a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock as Crespin just dribbles it out at the top of the key. Crespin over to Ty Williams. Now it's Gaffon. Gaffon near the basket. Goes up and puts it in. And the foul. What a first quarter for Lucy Gaffon. The junior out of Nebraska is going to head back to the charity stripe. Chance for a three-point play.
Gaffon has been everything for VCU in this game. So far in this game, 4 for 4 from the field. She's had 8 points on the day. Just for VCU, just adding up so much for this squad and being that scorer that they've been missing quite often, as well taking advantage of the short Fordham size that they don't have.
Free throw shot's no good. 2 seconds left. Tia Morgan driving up the court. Doesn't put up a shot. Tried passing it ahead to Lucretia Edwards. Maybe not a sense of how much time was left in this first quarter, but it comes to an end regardless. A 13-2 run over these last 4 minutes for VCU. Fordham has not scored in the last 2.5 here, Kurt.
Fordham needs to find a way to find offense against this VCU squad, as well as trying to play cleaner basketball, Anthony. Yet again, 5 turnovers for this Fordham Rams squad. Cannot have that many turnovers just in general, allowing the VCU squad to have 7 points off of those turnovers, as well as the defense, as well as the boards for both of these squads. Fordham currently leading in the rebound. Actually, VCU currently leading in the rebound department with 11 to Fordham's 6 boards. Not something that you normally see from this Fordham squad. Need some help with this stuff, and they'll figure it out soon. But the second half, keep the defense the same that you were playing like you were in the first. Just try and score just a little bit more. I know it's been a struggle all year. Got to figure it out somehow. And
it's very unlike these both of these teams that the rebounding is 11-6 in favor of VCU. Despite VCU's size, they have a negative 3.4 rebound margin, which is 13th in the A-10. As for Fordham, only 9th, but they're 3rd in total rebounds on the season and rebounds per game. But something has got to change in this second quarter for Fordham. Only 7 points in this first quarter. But we're going to send you from Virginia back to the Big Apple in the Rose Hill Studios for a one-on-one scoreboard update. Here's Sam Giangrande.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey New York, Sam here. I hope everyone is well after that weekend snowstorm. Today I'm bringing you across the Atlantic to look at some Champions League soccer, and as a quick heads up, all these fixtures are at 3 p.m. The mighty Arsenal is hosting Kairat, who are going the distance from Kazakhstan to play at the Emirates Stadium. In Catalonia, FC Copenhagen will go west to play against Barcelona in the Camp Nou. And at the edge of the Iberian Peninsula, Los Blancos will go to the Stadio de Luis to play against Jose Mourinho's Benfica. The 2 losing sides in the 2 Champions League finals will face against each other at Sigun Iduna Park, Dortmund vs Inter Milan. The Blues of London, Chelsea, will go down to southern Italy to play against Napoli, and in the Netherlands we see the Kings of Bavaria go to Eindhoven. PSV vs Bayern Munich at the Philips Stadium. Finally, the reigning champions PSG will host the Magpies at the Parc des Princes. PSG vs Newcastle, and all these games are at 3 p.m. And with no football this week, maybe you can all watch something new. That's all from me. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update. Back to you, Anthony and Kurt in Richmond.
And we welcome you back to the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. Great job by Sam Giangrande on the updates. As always, you'll hear more from him in the halftime report with Abby Cristofaro. But for now, we've got a second quarter to watch here between Fordham and VCU in a 19-7 lead in favor of the Rams in white, not the maroon Rams. Kurt, what has got to change here for this Fordham team?
Yet again, Anthony, swinging the rock is something that is so important to this Fordham Rams squad. Trying to get other people involved. Only 1 assist on the game. I know they haven't scored very often, but the passing game just hasn't looked that good for this Fordham Rams team. As well, trying to just get to your spots just a little better.
Left wing triple. Ty Williams knocks it down. VCU stays hot. 22-7 lead, 15 seconds into this second quarter. Now Alexis Black driving to the left side, puts up the shot, trickles across the rim, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds, and it's going to be VCU ball. Alexis Black, first shot put up in her return. And
I like to see Alexis Black getting a little bit more aggressive. She's the person that Fordham needs the most to start scoring. Without her in, they've just been missing that scoring bump that she provides. Karen Easley has been trying to give it. Lucretia Edwards has been trying to give it. It's just been tough.
Top of the key, Zachariah tries the triple, bounces off the back rim, gets her own rebound, and the top of the paint, swings it out. Near side triple, Knezovic, no good. Lucretia Edwards bats it out, and it's going to wind up in the hands of Karen Easley as she takes it down the court. Passes it out, right wing, Alexis Black. Pump fake the triple, now bounces it out. Now she will take the triple, and it gophers out. Rebound by Wilson Saltos, but she's fouled on the putback.
Great second chance by Emma Wilson-Saltos, getting it off the board. Rushed her shot just a little bit because she had a much bigger defender on her back in Knezovic, but she had to just keep it down just a little bit more. Tried to get her to jump first, but she ended up jumping first and bouncing it off the bottom of the backboard. But at least she gets bailed out with these free throw shots, able to get Fordham off of this drought that they've been in for the last about 4 minutes.
Good rebound there for Emma Wilson-Salto. She ranks first on the team, 13th in the A-10 in rebounding as she knocks down her first free throw. 54% from the charity stripe is Emma Wilson-Saltos on the season, and she knocks down both. So 22-9, and now double team here on Crespin. Fordham playing a full court press. Crespin passes over to the middle as VCU just passes the timeline. It was Sotelo. Now back to Crespin, top of the key. Left wing Zachariah hands it back off to Crespin. With 10 on the shot clock, Crespin, the right elbow, driving all the way to the rim, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound was attempted to gather it in by Karen Easley, but she's fouled by Crespin. So regardless, it's still Fordham ball. So they try and get an offensive rhythm going here with 8.5 here in the second quarter.
Karen Easley just trying to grab a rebound against 3 defenders that are all above 6 feet tall. Impressive by Karen Easley, who's only 5'5".
Easley tosses it over to Lucretia Edwards. Now up top is Alexis Black. Floats it past Emma Wilson-Saltos down to the low block. She somehow gets it back out to Kayla Berry. Left wing triple now. Alexis Black. No good. Rebound gathered in by Emma Wilson-Saltos. She threw it back in as she falls into the stands. Now Zachariah. Nice move at the rim. Fast-paced play there. But it ends at 2 points for VCU. Emma Wilson-Saltos right back on the court. With 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, wild sequence. Lucretia Edwards, left wing triple. Bounces off the front, and a rebound gathered in by Preston. Now it's Crespin over on the left wing. Kind of slow things down here with 7:45 in the second quarter. In the right wing now it's Saria Griffin's going to try the right jumper, and it's good. Knocks it down, 26-9 lead for VCU. Things getting ugly in a hurry here.
VCU currently just shooting at such a high clip, 50% from the field, 42% from the three-point line. Fordham, on the other hand, 17% from the field and 11% from the three-point line. Something's got to change, and change fast.
Far corner now to the left wing. It's Lucretia Edwards. Passes it up top, Kayla Berry. Near wing with 8 on the shot clock, Alexis Black. Takes the screen from Wilson-Saltos. Cuts to the left side, tries the jumper and hits, and a foul. Alexis Black, first points since returning from injury. He's got a chance for a three-point play.
Big play for Alexis Black, trying to get her team back into this, putting it up and getting it off the glass for that extra shot at the line for the three-point play. You need her to start scoring if you're Fordham. Elevate the bench a little bit, elevate the other players on the court, something that Alexis Black does so well. The junior from Appalachia State just needs to start scoring at a higher clip.
First on the team in free throw percentage, shows it there as she completes the three-point play. Fordham in double digits as Kayla Berry working over there on the far side as the Rams try another full court press on Saria Griffin. Knocks it out of bounds, stays with VCU, but as I was saying, Fordham in double digits for the first time. 26-12 lead, 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Another full court press. VCU beats it easily. Crespin now getting double team up top. Saria Griffin driving through the paint and is swatted away by Wilson-Saltos. Easily gathers in the rebound and is fouled, but Emma Wilson-Saltos says not today.
Two back-to-back energy plays by the Fordham Rams. Going down the court and the and one by Alexis Black, and then a block by Emma Wilson-Saltos. That is a big play for the Fordham Rams, trying to get this bench on their feet and start cheering a little bit more as well. The full court press against VCU works so well because their ball handlers just aren't there very well, so they just aren't able to break the press as good. So Fordham usually allowing VCU to get back on the floor with only about 20 seconds on the shot clock instead of a full 25 or 30.
Right elbow, Alexis Black tries the jumper and hits. It's clean, 26-14. Alexis Black now starting to get into a rhythm. 6.5 to go in the second quarter.
She's willing her team back in this game.
Crespin bounces it over. Gaffon loses control, pops out to the right wing. It's Griffin now trying to bounce it out to Gaffon, and Kayla Berry winds up, but it goes out of bounds, and it looks like she got maybe hit on the face there by Gaffon as she holds on to her face. The rest of the Fordham team checks up on her. She's on the far side of the court, right next to the Fordham bench.
She's stumbling off to the bench right now. It seems like she might come out of this game.
Maybe just a poke in the eye as the trainers look at her. But with 6:18 to go, we'll send it to a quick break here from Richmond, Virginia. We'll be back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
I'm Kurt Sippel, telling you to tune into One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. Catch us live every Saturday on our WFUV Sports YouTube Live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and later on 90.7 WFUV from 11 p.m.
And we're back. Short break. Here's Ornell, and the Yankee now checks in for Fordham. Tia Morgan's at the free throw line here for the Rams in maroon with 6:18 to go in the second quarter.
As Alexis Black also checks out of this game. Alexis Black willing her team with back-to-back shots. Great stuff from Alexis Black off of the bench today, being the leader of that second unit. First unit back in this game so far.
Tia Morgan knocks down the first free throw. Maybe just trying to slow down a little bit. Alexis Black, don't want to rush her into anything, but already back, and she's making a big impact on this Fordham team as Tia Morgan goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Another full court press here from Fordham. Down by 10. Pass it along. It's Preston. Goes right to the cup and misses. Gaffon gets the rebound, and she travels. All of a sudden, momentum shifting here in Virginia. Fordham down by 10, trying to mount a early comeback here in this second quarter.
Fordham evening out the turnovers now by VCU, not allowing them to do very much on the offensive end. When they sped up their offense, VCU, because of that full court press, they're just unable to get set and really not getting very heated on the offensive side, not being able to finish their shots.
Easily at the top of the key. Works to the left side of the paint. Spins it and passes it back out. Wilson-Saltos may have looked like the pass was not intended for her. May have been trying to go to Edwards there as a foul's called now.
I don't know how much of that was a foul, Anthony. Looked more like Fordham got the ball, but not really sure what just happened there. I know a foul was called, but if we look back at the replay, right there, getting Emma Wilson-Saltos, and then Gaffon just falls to the ground, I guess on the reach in there by Emma Wilson-Saltos on Gaffon's arm. From our perspective, we are a little bit higher above the stands right now. It didn't really look like that.
Up top, Gaffon. Now back to Crespin. 5.5 to go. 10-point game. 26-16. VCU with the lead. McKenna White. Cross-court pass to Preston. Now to the right wing. With 10 on the shot clock. Crespin. Back to Preston. Passes it down low. Gaffon goes out of bounds. Refs get a signal of VCU ball as that's Ugne Sertoteta playing defense on Gaffon. Alexis Black also checked back in for the Fordham Rams, and now VCU makes a substitution, bringing in Katarina Konezovic.
Right now, the dump down to Gaffon hasn't been working for VCU, actually turning the ball over just a little bit more because Fordham's playing defense on her way better.
Crespin, left wing, triple, string music. 29-16 lead. All of a sudden, the momentum from Fordham kind of killed right there. Alexis Black now on the far wing. Dribbles and butts out a move. Puts up the floater. No good. 29-16 with 5 minutes to go. VCU now dashing down the court. Far wing. Ornell Nienken falls for the pump fake, and the mid-ranger is good. McKenna White. 15-point lead now for VCU.
McKenna White falling away at an angle hit that shot. That was an impressive three-point shot for McKenna White and just broke the Fordham run. Right then, back-to-back shots. Fordham was on a 7-0 run. Now it is 7-6.
Easily driving through the right side. Puts up the layup. It's no good. And VCU gathers in the rebound. Saria Griffin down the far side of the court. Over to the right wing. She's going to pass it out. McKenna White with the triple and drains it. Oh, VCU, when they get hot, they are scorching. 34-16 lead now.
McKenna White just seeing Ornella Yankin shorter than her with her hands up, and McKenna White said, all right, that's fine, and then shot it right over her.
Left wing, Tia Morgan. She tries the triple, and it's good. 34-19. Tia Morgan quietly. Now over on the far side to the right wing. It's McKenna White again for three. This one no good. Rebound gathered in by Griffin. Up top, it's Crespin. Crespin over to Gaffon. Gaffon tries to go past Serto Tete. And Gaffon back up to the rim. No good on the layup. And a jump ball as Serto Tete, Gaffon, and many other Fordham Rams and company hit the deck. And that's going to bring us to the media timeout with 3:34 to go here in the second quarter. 34-19, VCU with the lead over Fordham. And we'll be back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hello everyone, I'm Trey Rodriguez, calling you to tune in to WFUV Sports One-on-One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. We're live every Saturday on YouTube from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and later at night on 90.7 FM from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We cover the latest news in the sports world with our wide range of beat reporters, as well as exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes. We'll see you next Saturday on One-on-One.
And we welcome you back to the Siegel Center in this Atlantic 10 contest between VCU and Fordham, 34-19. Kurt, you noticed something weird going on during the break. Want to explain what's going on?
Yeah, they're instead of throwing T-shirts here at VCU, they're throwing out rainbow cookies. Not something that you would normally see. I mean, there's not such a big crowd here, so it seems like they could have probably given out just rainbow cookies to the whole crowd. But I guess some fan engagement here. Well, there's only about, what would you say, Anthony, 25 people in the crowd?
Something along that. I can't see on the near side here. Oh, there's nobody on the near side.
There's no one on the side of us. There's only, actually, no, there's three people over there on our right-hand side over here in the V of VCU. The letters are spelt out in yellow in the VCU stands. A pretty cool addition to the Siegel Center, the Rams and VCU on the other side. But we all know that the better Rams in maroon and white, but just not today. Fordham unable to really get much done from the field. I know that they started the shooting spree just a little bit more, and then just again missing out, going on a drought, and VCU heating up from three, shooting 50% from three-point land, 5 of 10, just VCU heating up. I know for Fordham, a part of their game plan was speeding them up on the half court and trying to rush them into their shots, and they have. But VCU just hitting them at such a high clip, and that's what happens when you have such talent on this squad. I mean, just look at the different transfer students as well. I mean, you have people from Colorado State, transfers from Arizona, you have transfers from Seton Hall, as well as just some good freshman class as well. So it's all just heads-up basketball, as well as the people that were back here from last year. VCU, a historically pretty good program under Coach O'Boyle that has made on runs to the A-10 tournament, as well as the WNIT and the NCAA. So it's going to be very tough for this Fordham Rams squad. But again, we've seen their poise, Anthony, very often that this squad, when they get maybe tucked under maybe a lead or something like that, they're able to come back. This second quarter has been a little better than historically for them, where they've been taking dives all season in the second quarter. Right now up to 12 points, better than their first. So that's something to look forward to.
With 3.5 to go, it's a 34-19 lead. Alexis Black over on the left elbow. Pump fakes now, tries the floater, and it's no good. Rebound gathered in by VCU as they take it with speed. Griffin over to the right wing. Knezovic driving to the cup and puts in the layup off the bank. VCU quickly finds two right out of the break. Lucretia Edwards down the right wing. Over to Alexis Black. She'll try a triple off the front of the rim. Almost got her own rebound as the ball bounced back to her, but Crespin winds up with it for VCU. Bounces it over. Griffin dribbles baseline. Now back up top to Crespin. Down low pass. Kachenko off the hands. She's able to regain possession. Left wing now. McKenna White. Over to Griffin. She'll try a right wing triple. Scrapes the iron. Alexis Black gathers in the board.
Fordham playing some tough defense and now pushing it up the court with pace.
Easily. The mid-range jumper off the back of the iron and no good. Crespin up with it and a 36-19 lead. The right wing, Knezovic slows things down here. Over to McKenna White. Down low, Kachenko. Working on Alexis Black. Kachenko! The bank shot's no good. Wilson Saltos climbs the ladder and gets the board.
Emma Wilson-Saltos was looking to give that help defense on Kachenko while Alexis Black was guarding her. But Alexis Black just doing enough over the 6'2 forward and allowing her not to get the best shot possible.
Lucretia Edwards, left wing triple, green bean! Lucretia Edwards knocks down her second triple of the game, 36-22, minute 45 to go in the second quarter.
Lucretia Edwards from distance, Anthony, pretty far out from the three-point line, maybe another 2 or 3 feet from the three-point line for Lucretia Edwards. A good shot for this Fordham Rams team to bring them up into the 20-point range.
Nearly winds up with a steal, McKenna White. Now it's Saria Griffin on the right wing. Up top, Laya Crespin. Sizes up easily. The right wing, Crespin's going to try a triple. Comes up short. And it goes right out of bounds. No one there fighting for the rebound. So it will be Fordham ball. 36-22, minute 15 to go. Very important last minute 15. Try and get some sort of momentum going into the second half here, Kurt.
You want to go into the locker room. You might not get a lead here, but you want to cut this lead down to as close as possible. The Fordham Rams are very good in the third quarter coming out of the locker room. Maybe listening to that Coach B speech really gets them invigorated. So we'll see what happens in this second quarter while they start to close with the minute and 5 seconds left.
Easily spinning through the defenders, dumps down low to Caleb Berry on the low block. And the shot is good. And I think we got a foul there, so it's a chance for a three-point play now for Caleb Berry. She's a little shaken up as she hits the deck after making that shot. But Kurt, kind of just piggybacking on your point, you're obviously probably not going to take the lead here in this last minute, but maybe at least trying to cut it down to a single-digit lead and still be in reach at the start of this third quarter.
Very important to be in reach because then you go back into the locker room and know that you have the hope to come back out here and start to try to win. And right now, Fordham's been doing a good job. VCU on a scoring drought of the last 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So Fordham just having to continue that good defense on VCU and try to score down on the floor as Caleb Berry completes the three-point play. And Fordham now within 11.
Berry cuts it down to an 11-point lead for VCU. Berry with 3 points on the day, entered this game with 2 in her past 2 previous contests. Crespin throws ahead, is fouled by Veljovic with 56.9 on the clock.
It's not a foul you really want to give up, Anthony, allowing VCU to reset on the line, inbounded again with 56 seconds to go. They can get the best possible shot off here with a full 30-second shot clock after the full court press was unsuccessful fouling there.
Ty Williams throws it in to Laya Crespin. Over to Ann Zachary on the left wing. Tried passing down low to Knezovic, but there's going to be a foul called on Fordham. Looks like that was Caleb Berry who was smothering Knezovic in the low block.
Another reset for VCU at the bottom by the basket, so they can have another opportunity for a big shot here. Another momentum mover for VCU. They're also looking for momentum here as Fordham went on a 6-0 run in the last minute, and VCU has been on the scoring drought for almost about 3 minutes. So they're both looking for momentum here going into their locker rooms.
6-0 run for Fordham. Quick shot from Knezovic. Ball bounces out to Alexis Black, but it goes off her hands. And now VCU here with the offensive possession. And that's just Fordham kind of just shooting themselves in the foot right there.
VCU getting that extra possession back. If I'm Alexis Black, I'm not trying to touch that basketball. I know that she thought that she might be able to get the rebound, but as it's bouncing pretty fast down the baseline, try to just keep your hands off of it and get the ball back.
Knezevich in the left elbow, working on Barry. Step back, jumper is pure. Knezevich knocks down the two, 38-25, 30 seconds to go in this first half. Alexis Black slowly pounding the leather right at the VCU logo, trying to direct the offense. 16 on the game clock, 16 on the shot clock. Lucretia Edwards in the right wing, steps back, now passes it back along to Alexis Black at the top of the key. Takes a screen from Wilson Saltos, over to Easley, left wing, now driving baseline, try to pass it off to Wilson Saltos. VCU playing tight defense as it's a shot clock violation. The ref's going to signal here, maybe some time left on the clock, as Fordham's bench was already coming out with the rest of the team. But it looks like the ref might be tacking on just a couple ticks here to end off this first half. But Fordham, nonetheless, remains unsuccessful in putting up a last-minute basket here.
That was just a poor possession by Fordham. It really didn't look like they had much of a direction to go, Anthony. It was tough by Fordham. I mean, VCU put up a great defensive effort, but Fordham just really not passing the ball. And Karen Easley thought that she could do it herself by driving to the basket, but then quickly saw that there were a few more defenders that were way taller than her, 5 or 6 plus inches taller than her, and could not finish at the rim without getting it rejected. So tried to pass it out, but then by that point did not know how much time was left on the shot clock, and it was over from there.
0.8 to go. And that shot just thrown up by Sotelo, but goes no good. 38-25 to end off this first half. An offensive struggle in the first quarter has kind of led to this 13-point lead in favor of VCU. Fordham really just struggling on all cylinders throughout these first 20 minutes.
Currently getting out rebounded by VCU 20-15. Not something that you'd like to see if you're Coach B. Definitely going to be talked to a lot in her locker room talk to her players a lot about the rebounding battle, trying to get a little bit more aggressive. They're great on the offensive boards and not as good on the defensive boards for Fordham. One of the middle-of-the-pack teams on the defensive boards, but the top team in the league in offensive boards. We'd like to see Fordham try to get more of those offensive rebounds as well. I know this is a common theme, and we've been talking about it, beating a dead horse, but offense wins you the basketball game at the end of the day. I understand that the defense can help you win a championship, but without scoring the basketball, it's going to be quite tough. Fordham doing a good job right now, improving just a little bit more on the offensive side, upping their field goal percentage to 29% and their three-point percentage to 25%. That's much better than the 11% coming into this quarter. But yet again, you got to just figure something out and try to change something. Something's got to give, because eventually this game's going to get way out of proportion.
And looking at the first quarter and second quarter numbers, Fordham really dug themselves in a hole in that first quarter, only scoring 7 points compared to 19 from VCU. Then in the second quarter comparison, 19-18, 1 point differential in favor of VCU again. But just kind of right out of the gates, this Fordham team were struggling to get a basket in those first couple minutes, then struggled for the entirety of the first quarter. Started to pick things up in the second quarter, but when it seems like they're gaining momentum, VCU finds an answer, and then they start getting on a scoring run.
And the other thing is Fordham just hasn't really gotten those bounces that they really would have liked off of the basket. I know, like, Alexis Black, 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point range. There's some ones where if the ball bounced just a little different on the rim, they might go in. So another tough for Fordham, and they need to start figuring it out. Maybe on the other side, the rims might be a little better, Anthony.
Going to need a really nice halftime speech here from Coach B and kind of see what the message is going into this second half. Should be an interesting final 20 minutes here from Virginia. But for now, let's get you back to the Rose Hill Studios as Abby Cristofaro and Sam Giangrande have us covered for the one-on-one halftime report.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to Rose Hill Studios. I'm here joined by Sam Giangrande. After 2 quarters in Richmond, VCU leads by a score of 38-25. But before we break down the start of this game, we have a quick one-on-one scoreboard update.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey, New York. Hope you're all well after that massive snowstorm. Let's try and keep that in the past and go around the A10 right now and get ourselves on the court. Duquesne will travel south to Richmond and take on the Spiders. Tip-off in the Robins Center starts at 6 p.m. St. Louis will go east to visit the nation's capital to play against GW. Also at 6 p.m., tip-off starts in the Charles E. Smith Center. At 7 p.m., the Bonnies go northwest to the UD Arena for St. Bonaventure vs. Dayton University, a clash between 2 powerhouses in the A10. Finally, also at 7 p.m., George Mason is going to North Carolina to the John M. Belk Arena to play Davison. On the men's side, it's the inverse of the women's fixture, since Davison will travel to George Mason to play at the Eagle Bank Arena at 7 p.m. And at the same time, the Bonnies are going to the Steel City of Pittsburgh to play Duquesne. Finally, our hometown Rams will host LaSalle at 7 p.m. tonight, so make sure you guys listen to that on 90.7 FM. That's all from me. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update.
All right, thank you, Sam. So first half for the Fordham Rams, what are we thinking? It's not looking great. The score is 38-25 VCU. One thing that I think is important is Alexis Black is back. She hasn't played in the past 7 games since January 3rd. She's their star player. But as we can see, that hasn't really helped them all that much. She's played as much time as the other star players that they were relying on the past 7 games. So she's not easing into it. What do you think about that they're still behind by 12 points there?
I was hoping to say today, hoping we all can say back in black, but didn't really go too well for her so far. I think Fordham right now, they need to focus more on shooting the ball. If you look at their field goal percentage, they're only at 30% compared to VCU's 45%, and they just haven't shot the ball as much as them. Fordham only shooting 27 while VCU's at 33. They need to be able to shoot the ball a lot more, since I think it's just as Kurt said, offenses win you the game. If you're not scoring, you can't win.
Yeah, it was also a no-score game for the first 3 minutes, and Fordham didn't have a single basket in the last 2.5 of the first half, or the first quarter, I believe. And I think it's just, like you just said, they need to be scoring baskets, and their defense is kind of holding off as much as they can on VCU. But at the end of the day, if you're not putting up the points, then you're not able to win that game. So VCU got the first points right off the bat in the first quarter. So they were able to get a little bit momentum. Fordham just couldn't hold on to the ball. And as we heard from the coach prior to the game starting, she said that we really needed to limit turnovers, and we haven't seen that at all, and get those rebounds, and we haven't seen that either.
I mean, Fordham usually, I think they've been good previously with holding on to possession, getting that ball, and the struggle is shooting it. But this game, it really seems like it's a mix of both. It's not being able to shoot the ball and then the possession. They're not able to get to the possession. But something to look on the bright side is the fouls. I think they've been fouling a bit less than usual, which is good. And then when they are getting sent to the paint, they've made all their shots so far, which is unlikely for Fordham. So that is, I think, one good positive, a diamond in the rough to look at right now.
Yeah, the coach also said that the teammates need to start translating what they've been putting into practice. A lot of that is the turnovers and getting into position. So we heard Alexis back kind of holding onto the ball halfway through the court to try to get people into position. So do you think that with her back, there's going to be a little bit of a period of time where it's going to be transitioning back to having her? Or do you think that they've been practicing this and it's just time to kind of put your foot on the gas and get going?
I think a transitional period is very normal, but for a team like this where they're in dire need of a win, they really do need to step up their game to be able to get back to how they were with Alexis Black in the team. But at the same time, I think one of Fordham's weaknesses while she was playing was an over-reliance on her, and especially her coming back from not playing in a while. This can't be a time where you over-rely on one player, especially who hasn't played in a bit. You need to be able to spread out the points across the whole team, maybe rely a little bit on the bench play.
They can win without her, and they did against St. Bonaventure, as well as that's a conference team. So they know they can do it, and we were hoping that momentum would keep going, but it did not with St. Louis and GW right after. But that being said, coming into this VCU game, even we didn't know that Alexis Black would be playing. That was a little bit of a surprise. Kurt also mentioned that maybe VCU didn't know she was playing either. So anything like that can be an advantage over your team. But Fordham and VCU are pretty well evenly matched in the conference and other standings. VCU is a little bit better than Fordham, but I was not expecting the score at half to be 38-25. I thought Fordham would have a little bit more offense, especially if Alexis Black was coming into the game, which I had a feeling she would be. I thought it would maybe give them the momentum, and I just don't think they have that momentum there.
Definitely. I think this was a game where everyone's hoping for a win if they're so evenly matched up, where this was a game where it can maybe bring some of that momentum when given a win. But if Fordham don't win this game, where it's a team Ram v. Ram, literally, that if Fordham doesn't win it, that momentum really does die down, and it really does hurt. Especially, I thought the Alexis Black surprise, it was a very good tactical move. They weren't expecting it. It could have caused a lot of a switch up for the other team, but unfortunately, it's not really going their way right now.
It didn't seem to do the desired effect. Also, while we're saying they're an pretty evenly matched team, their all-time series between the two Rams teams are 7-7. So whoever wins this is going to get the advantage. They're just something interesting to look at. That's how pretty evenly they've played throughout their history. So there was no score for the first 3 minutes, and I think there being no score for the first 3 minutes and the last 2.5, I think that's when are they shooting? When is Fordham going to get the baskets that they need to in order to get that offense to be in a place where you're winning?
That is such a classic Fordham stat right there. They're not being able to get the ball into the net. I think it happens between the men's and women's team. They go long periods without scoring, and then if I'm going to make a prediction right now, we're going to see Fordham burst out of the gates right when we go into this third quarter. I think Fordham's going to put out a lot. They're going to shoot a lot more, hopefully make a lot more. But if we're going by classic Fordham fashion, they're going to start dying down probably towards the end of the third quarter. By the fourth quarter, they get very gassed out.
I agree. And also, I think the halftime will be a good time to regroup for them. We've also seen Lucretia Edwards and Karen Easley kind of take over the role of Alexis Black while she's been out. So this halftime might be a good time for them to regroup and remember how playing with Alexis Black is and trying to get that routine. But Lucretia Edwards, once again, becoming a star for Fordham, kind of pulling her weight there. And she did last game against GW, which they did not pull out the win. So I think seeing how Alexis Black, Edwards, and Easley all play together in the second half, like you just said, it's probably going to crash and burn in the fourth quarter. It seems to be doing that. But if they can hold on to that momentum of having their star player back, I think it's something that they need to really capitalize on there.
Definitely. I really do. I want to be wrong. Every single time I say something, I want to be proven wrong.
No,
hold that
literally
against me. Like, make sure you can play that back and be like, we proved them wrong. But going with typical Fordham, it might be that way. But I do agree. I think if that combination of that front three, hopefully they will be able to use that momentum and use their abilities together to be able to get back into this game so we chip away at that big score deficit right now.
Do you think that's the key for them to win in this second half, or maybe not even win, but just kind of close that gap, because it's pretty hefty right now?
I think so. I think Fordham, they are fine defensively right now. I think they're kind of letting up more natural points right now, where it's like a little understanding of why the score is this much, but it shouldn't be there behind this much, if that makes sense. They should be able to be level-headed to where it could be 36-38, 34-38, where they should be a lot closer and focusing on the offense.
I agree. Their last possession, as Kurt was telling us, was really, really bad. And I think that having something so dismal at the end of it might kickstart a second half. That'll be better for them as well. Is there anything else you think that they really need to do? I think they solved their personal foul problem pretty much, but those turnovers are still hurting them.
Definitely. I think they need to focus right now on the possession of the ball, and by getting that ball, be able to shoot it well and get into the back of the hoop.
Yeah, well, I think that about wraps this up for this halftime report. I'm Abby Cristofaro with Sam Giangrande, and we will see you back here for the post-game report for the second half. We'll send it back to Anthony Smith and Kurt Sippel.
And we welcome you back to Richmond, Virginia for a battle of two A-10 Rams teams, Fordham and VCU. 38-25 score as we're about just a couple minutes away from this third quarter start. Anthony Smith alongside my partner, Kurt Sippel. Kurt, this Fordham team down by 13. It was a rough start at the beginning of this first half, but possibly going to this third quarter, I think this Fordham team is going to want to be aggressive going into this second half.
Fordham's going to have to be quite aggressive going into the second half. Expect a lot more shooting. I think you're going to expect a good amount of quicker shots from this Fordham Rams team. They're trying to pass the ball a lot more, swing the rock, get everyone involved, which is very important and one of our keys to the game, Anthony. But I think one of the things that Fordham needs to do is get those quick passes off and then try to shoot when that open space is coming. Because one of those things that we've seen quite often from this Fordham team is that they're allowing VCU to close in on them, and then they're unable to really do much of anything. Right now on the floor, as Fordham takes the court a little bit more, we're seeing actually the Fordham Rams players-only huddle right now, talking to each other, trying to get back into it, taking accountability. That's something that you really like to see, especially from a squad that has been quite in a dive right now when it comes to the A-10 standings. I know right now they are only 1-8 in the conference, and that's going to be really tough when Fordham has to come to the A-10s. And back here in Virginia, they're going to play now, counting DC, they would play 3 games in Virginia just these last month and a half, playing VCU, playing Richmond, as well as George Washington. And then they're going to come back here for the A-10s, and Fordham has such a slim amount of time left to try to get back into that upper echelon of the A-10. Right now, VCU is actually one of the teams above them. Only 3-6 on the season so far, as well as a team like George Washington. Same thing, 3-6 on the season. So Fordham needs to win one of these games to try to get back into this and try to avoid playing on day one of the A-10 tournament. That's their biggest thing right now. Try to avoid day one. Anthony, a big thing about avoiding day one is you get to rest a little bit longer in your own bed at Fordham. You get to stay home just a little bit longer, fly out a little bit later, a little bit more relaxed. Day one, it's like you got to get there, got to practice. You're one of 4 teams. If you go home, you go home. You don't get to even see some of the top teams in the conference that Fordham has played good basketball against. And we've talked to Coach B before, and she says she believes in the squad wholeheartedly that they could take the whole conference. It's just going to take quite a lot for this Fordham Rams team to come back.
Well, it's a tough mountain to climb, but Fordham's hoping to start it here today. And you mentioned some of the better teams in the conference that they would maybe not even see if they don't get that first round bye.
Hey, what's up? It's Owen Kelty, one of WFUV Sports' New York Knicks beat reporters. Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks look to dominate the East and bring a championship back to New York. Keep up all season long on my X account at Owen Kelty for all the highs and lows of New York Knicks basketball. WFUV Sports is your home for all things Knicks.
Pardon that interruption there. Our equipment just disconnected. We're kind of compact up here. Got a quick disconnect, but the game has started again.
Just a couple seconds in here to this third quarter. It's Griffin who passes over to Sotelo. Now over on the far wing. Preston, Zachariah now. Right wing, back over to the left wing. It's Deja Preston. 10 left on the shot clock. Pass goes for Crespin. In the short corner, bounces it out. Alexis Black smothering her defense. Now, a far corner 3 is no good. Goes off the side of the backboard. 9.5 to go here in this third quarter. And a 38-25 lead. Saw some great defense there from Fordham. Alexis Black smothering the offense, as well as the rest of her Fordham team, as now they take it back down the court. Karen Neasley in the right wing, trying to get the first points of this second half. Bounces it along to Kayla Berry, who's fouled on the pass.
You know, Anthony, that is one way to start the quarter. We talked about coming out with some energy, coming out with trying to set a tone, and Fordham sets the tone right there, telling VCU you're not going to run away with this one, allowing them to shot clock violation, not allowing a shot, and Fordham getting the foul here for another possession.
Alexis Black over on the right elbow, now kind of retreats back to the logo. Takes a screen from Wilson Santos, now bounces over to Wilson Santos. Her layup is no good, trickles across the rim. And VCU now dashing down the court. Saria Griffin with it. Slows it down, passes it along. Left wing, Crespin. Now back up top to Lya Crespin, over to Griffin again. Griffin circling around the orbit. Over to Zachariah, now back up to Crespin. She's in the right wing with 10 left on the shot clock. Far court pass on the far corner. Nice move. And Ilma Wilson-Saltos lays down a block, but gets called for the foul as it was Deja Preston who tried going up to the rim. Now Precious Omasholo comes back in for Fordham.
Yet again, good tone setting by Fordham right there. Only allowing for VCU to get a shot off with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. As we get a look, that is not a foul. As we get a look back at the replay there, great job selling it by VCU, but that was not a foul from up here in our perspective. Looked like it got Emma Wilson-Saltos got all ball. Deja Preston doing a great job selling it on the floor for the referees, but just not what I think that should have been called.
Deja Preston makes her second free throw. The freshman out of Georgia makes it a 14-point game. 8.5 to go here in the third quarter as Easley slowly trots down the court. Up along to Alexis Black in the left wing. Takes a screen from Wilshaw. Now double team. Barry near side corner three. Easley. It's cash. Karen Easley knocks down a triple. Her first of the game. 39-28, an 11-point lead. Over 8 to go in this third quarter. Here's Preston again on the low block. Bounces it ahead. No good on the shot from Sotelo. And now Easley with acceleration over on the left wing. Out to Lucretia Edwards. Right wing triple. Bounces off, no good. Kayla Berry comes in flying and gets the rebound. Up top, Karen Easley gonna try another three. No good. Almost Shola on the attempted rebound. And it's going to be a foul called on VCU. Looks like it's going to be a push. And Fordham maintains offensive possession.
That was a great job by Fordham. Seeing Karen Easley start to heat up, that's a very good thing on that last possession. Seeing the shot go through for Karen Easley. And now Fordham getting that reset shot clock and going out for another play. But Fordham sticking with it. Great job by Fordham sticking with the play. And Kayla Berry going out and getting that rebound, getting it back to Lucretia Edwards, who passes the ball to Karen Easley. She's unable to knock down that shot, but Fordham starting to look like, Anthony, that they're spreading the ball out just a little bit more and getting a little bit more poise from shooting. So we'll see what they draw up on this play as Coach B draws up the play and tells her players what to do.
20 left on the shot clock. Alexis Black throws it in up top to Kayla Berry. Lead is 11 for VCU. Fordham trying to cut it down to single digits. Alexis Black in the right wing. Over to the left wing now, Lucretia Edwards. Easily with it. Back out to Black. Black gonna uncork a three ball. No good. Lucretia Edwards and Kayla Berry fighting for the rebound. Same team. They ended up getting it. And now tries to pass it along to Precious Omashola, and it goes out of bounds. Once again on VCU. Deja Preston there trying to intercept it. Fordham maintains possession with 15 left on the shot clock. 7.5 to go. Again, a far pass for Kayla Berry. Kayla Berry driving to the left side, gives to an alley and misses the bunny. Unable to get her own rebound as Saria Griffin got it. And now it's Crespin taking it along. Back out to Griffin in the left wing. Cuts inside now, gets it back out to Crespin. Pass ahead to Gaffon. Gaffon over to Preston in the near side. Puts up the floater off the bank and it's no good. Gaffon gets the rebound. Shot clock resets. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 39-28 lead for VCU. Up top, Saria Griffin. Holds it after the pass from Deja Preston. Gaffon driving through two defenders and is fouled. And it's going to be an inbound on the Fordham baseline. Another foul called here on Fordham in this third quarter.
Karen Easley there tries to take the charge, getting ran over by Safan. Just unable to set her feet in time. Actually, looks like her feet might have been set in time, Anthony, on that board. So I'm not sure why the blocking foul might have been called there. I'm not sure what your perspective there, but it looked like Karen Easley's feet were set, and it doesn't look like the Rams quite agreed with that call. Some
questionable calls are already in this third quarter as some substitutions being made here for both VCU and Fordham. Serto Teta, Wilson Santos, Lucretia Edwards, Mason Hill, and Karen Easley out there for Fordham. Is the inbound from Crespin. struggling to find a pass, and it's going to be a violation. Fordham playing tight defense, unable to get a pass off. With 6:44 to go, Fordham takes over, down by 11. Once again, just trying to make it a single-digit lead, trying to claw their way back into this one easily. On the left wing, dances around a couple defenders but loses the ball. Knezevich winds up with it and passes it along to Griffin. Crespin, near side, corner three, McKenna White misses the rim easily with the rebound, getting double-teamed over in the far corner. And the ref going to signal that, unsure what she's trying to signal, looked like her hand was pointing in the direction of Fordham ball, but
it seems like it will not be Fordham ball because I think Karen Easley stepped out with the ball after she got the rebound, so it might be VCU ball or Fordham might be inbounding it there. Karen Easley has been so tough as the freshman for this Fordham Rams team. She's been the story quite often for this team, stepping up in her freshman year, the freshman from Philadelphia, doing pretty much everything for this Fordham Rams team, able to assist very well as score the basketball. Right now on today, not doing it as well with only 5 points, but yet again, doing exactly what she has to do to help this Fordham team win, no matter who is on her, trying to do as much as possible, either getting a rebound or assisting the ball.
Saria Griffin trying to drive to the right side, bounces it up, ball's loose, easily goes to get it, and is fouled as she tries to dive for the ball. So Fordham going to take over here.
Yet again, Anthony, just saw that again. Karen Easley diving on the floor, trying to get that extra possession for Fordham, getting that rebound, and achieves that by getting fouled by VCU and now being able to charge back up the court. So hopefully Fordham can score on this possession and take it down to a single-point game.
With 6 minutes to go, an 11-point lead for VCU. Mason Hill in the near corner. Up top to Easley. Back over to Mason Hill. Left wing triple. Hits the side of the iron, and Griffin comes up with the rebound. VCU going left to right. Fordham going right to left.
Right now, both teams in a scoring drought of over 3 minutes. Neither team has scored in 3 minutes for both of these squads.
Near side corner three. McKenna White wide open, misses the triple. Wilson Santos gets the rebound to Easley. Easley free throw line. Jay off the back of the iron and rolls in. 9-point lead. Fordham now cuts it down to a single-digit lead. Easley, as you mentioned, Kurt, manufacturing offense for Fordham. Double team on Crespin. Over to McKenna White. Her short corner jumper is no good. Gaffon with the rebound. Wilson Santos comes up with a block. Gaffon stays with it, and McKenna White comes out of nowhere to try and put a shot, and she's fouled.
You can see the frustration on Ugne Serto-Teta there, seeing that they fouled after those two great blocks off of VCU by Fordham, and now VCU getting that extra possession under the basket. Fordham doing a good job at trying to score the basketball yet again. VCU now in a 4-minute drought from scoring after Karen Easley broke Fordham's drought. Fordham just has to do more while VCU keeps the door wide open as VCU goes to the line.
It's McKenna White to the charity stripe. 63% on the year in free throws as she trying to end that scoring drought. Misses off the front of the rim, stays a 9-point game. With 5:07 to go here, Fordham just trying to get themselves back into this game after an ugly first quarter, 19-7. They were outscored, working their way back into it. 5-1 run here. Now 5-2 after that made the free throw here in this third quarter.
What I'm liking a little bit more, Anthony, is that Fordham's scoring, if you look at the box score, is spread out among players just a little bit more than it was last game. Every player among 7 to 5 points that have played so far, and that's something that's good for Fordham, spreading the scoring out just a little bit more, but players have to start scoring at a higher clip.
Alexis Black bounces it over. Serta Teta. Far pass for Kayla Berry. It's intercepted by Knezevich. Over to Ty Williams. Her pass deflected by Alexis Black, but she's unable to control the ball as it goes out of bounds. And we're going to get a media timeout here with 4:43 to go.
Anthony, that pass that we saw by Ugne there was the pass that we helped run today in the drills, even though it was a mistake and intercepted the ball by VCU. That was the pass that we were asked to help run by the coaches this morning.
That's right. Me and Kurt up bright and early to help out during practice today. Had us on each corner of the court, and it was just Who was there? It was
When the
Serta Tata.
It was
Barry,
the bigs,
the
and
bigs.
then what happened with the bigs and the forwards for Fordham happens when they penetrate the paint and then kick out to the three-point shooter when they see their defender on them. Right there, Ugne Serto-Tata was trying to do a cross-court pass that gets intercepted by Knezovic. Of course, it's a hard thing to do while in game, but that's exactly why Fordham's trying to practice it during shoot-around and practice their plays during shoot-around, trying to get used to these things. But right now, Fordham's still within 10. VCU has still left the door completely open, Anthony, this entire game. Fordham just has to figure out a way to get in there and try to shut it for their own favor.
Absolutely, Kurt. I mean, it was really a wonderful part to be a practice this morning. We really didn't expect it. We were kind of in shock. But one thing Fordham needs to do is to do what wait, I'm trying to think of the way to phrase this here. They shouldn't do what I did here today. They gave me a chance. They said, shoot the basketball. They were going to give Kurt a chance. I actually went first. And with the death beam pointed, with the game on the line, Anthony Smith is not your guy because I airballed more than I've ever airballed a basketball before. It was really bad. So that's what Fordham cannot do here today.
Listen, Anthony, they didn't give me a chance, and let's just say I'm a great shooter, and there's no proof about it any other way, and I would have knocked down that shot 100% of the time. I don't think I would have, but hey, you never know. But either way, Fordham right now might be taking up a little bit more again of you in the practice, Anthony, not knocking down their shots. I mean, that's the biggest issue, is that 4 of 17 moment from the three-point land, and Fordham struggling in the third quarter. Both of these teams struggling in the third quarter. It's so hard right now for both of these teams to score and get through. Both of these teams struggle at going into big pits and not being able to dig themselves way out of it. And that's been so difficult for both of these teams today. So Fordham's going to have to figure out a way to do that over VCU. And while VCU is giving Fordham that chance to do that, they need to start scoring at their higher clip. Again, beating a dead horse. But that is the key to today's game because it's so hard to win a game when you're not able to score the basketball.
Well, a 40-30 lead here from Virginia. We're going to take a quick break here from the Siegel Center. Actually, never mind. As the buzzer goes off, we will not be taking a quick break. Me and Kurt just got really interested in talking about this game and what we did during practice. So as both teams head back out onto the court, and a 10-point lead for VCU. Fordham rocking the maroon jerseys, maroon shorts, white letters and numbers. It's Wilson Saltos, Caleb Berry, Lucretia Edwards, Alexis Black, and Ugne Serta-Tata. And then for VCU in the white jerseys, white shorts, gold numbers, black letters. 4:43 to go. This third quarter. Pass thrown into Gaffon. Up top, it's Laya Crespin. Gaffon getting pressured by Wilson Santos, nearly swatted away. Ty Williams in the left wing. Out to Knezovic. Crespin with 10 left on the shot clock. Getting double teamed by Black and Edwards as Edwards pulls off now. Gaffon in the low block, puts up the layup and kisses one in off the glass. 12-point lead here for VCU. Alexis Black now on the left wing. Trots it over to the right side. Black over, top of the key, Caleb Berry. Now top of the paint, Ugne Serta-Tata driving up to the rim and banks one home. Back to a 10-point game. Ugne's got her first 2 of the game.
Good play by Ugne trying to get to the rim. She saw that she had a quite open lane. The 2 defenders were shorter than her, being able to shoot over them. Great job by Ugne there to get Fordham back on the board within 10.
Left wing, Ty Williams cutting inside. Now on the baseline. Bounces it over. Knezovic tries the mid-range jumper, and it goes off the bank and in. 44-32. Both teams exchanging baskets. Long pass for Lucretia Edwards. She's in the far corner. Bounces it over to Wilson Saltos. Out to Ugne, who was in the left wing, goes out of bounds. Just out of the outstretched hands of Serta-Tata as she comes out of the game. Precious Omashola checks in for her.
Not a great pass right there from Emma Wilson-Saltos with the defender on her. Kind of rushed it just a little bit. Not able to get it to Ugne, who then they turn it over again. And now both of these teams are heating up in this third quarter. So Fordham giving an extra possession to VCU.
Ball's turned over there on the pass. Alexis Black now taking it down the court. Right through the left side. Puts up a shot. No good, but is fouled. So we'll head back to the free throw line for 2 shots. Chance to once again make it a 10-point game here with 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Alexis Black doing what she can to try to get some points, missing her shot, but gaining the contact. This Fordham team right now, Anthony, something that they do very well in the A-10 is steal the basketball, one of the best schools in the A-10, second to LaSalle in steals so far in this year. Fordham only with 4 on today's game. Not something that you would normally see for them, especially with Alexis Black back in this game, one of the league leaders in stealing as well as the country leaders in stealing as well. Fordham not playing as much aggressive, trying to get the ball away from VCU as much as VCU just getting the ball and Fordham playing their hands-up defense against them, not trying to swat away because they're nervous about the fouls.
Alexis Black knocks down both from the free throw line, back to a 10-point game. She's got 7 on the game in total. There's now a double team and a full court press, but it's, oh no, never mind. Emma Wilson-Santos comes away with the turnover, fires a pass to Easley, and she was unable to control it. And it goes out of bounds on Fordham. Going to be VCU ball, but as I was saying before, Alexis Black, 7 points. Really great to see her back with this Fordham team. Was 23rd nationwide in scoring, second in the A-10. Now back on this Fordham team after returning from injury. And they play a full court press again, and it's Griffin who steps out of bounds, so Fordham gets the ball right back.
Yet again, Fordham getting a second opportunity on the full court press. VCU's not expecting it. Fordham needing to score the basketball here, get it into single digits with 2:56 to go in the third.
Both teams exchanging turnovers. Black inbounded into Easley. Back up top. Top of the key, Alexis Black. Engineering the Fordham offense with 2:45 to go in the third quarter. Driving to the left side, floats a pass to Precious Oma. Shola bounces off the rim a couple times and falls down the chute. Back to a full court press again. Double team this Griffin. Gets it out to Knezovic. Kafan over to the left wing now. It's Preston. Far court pass back to Knezovic. Going to try a right wing triple off the iron. And Alexis Black is there to secure the board. 8-point game with 2 minutes to go. Alexis Black up top to Wilson Santos. Hands it back off to Alexis Black. Slows things down. She backpedals her way to the logo. Moving up, sizing up her defender, Gaffon. Black gonna try step back triple. No good. Wilson Santos with the rebound. Another offensive possession here for Fordham. Under 2 to play. Easily in the right wing. Coach Bridget Mitchell just telling her to back up so they can draw a play. She's at the logo. Moves over to the right wing. Now Alexis Black in the left wing. Driving to the left side. Goes all the way to the cup and taps one in. And a timeout called by Fordham. Now all of a sudden down by 6 at a 44-38 lead with 1:30 to play.
Fordham leading the charge back, and that's all by Alexis Black. Scoring the last time, yet again, off twice with the free throws and then scoring there. 6-0 run by Fordham. 4 of their last 5 shots were in the basket. Fordham doing a very good job, even getting Precious Omashola involved, who was integral to that George Washington game with her 6 points in the first half. Then didn't score in the second. But Fordham doing what they can to try to go back on this run against VCU and get back into this game and maybe hopefully tie it before the 1:37 ticks off the clock.
Everybody seems to be getting involved with this Fordham offense. Really good to see. Just makes it an even more difficult task to try and guard an offense that has multiple scorers. But we're going to take a quick break here from the Siegel Center. Send it on a break with 1:38 to go here in this third quarter. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sport.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace McCarran and I'm one of your 2025-26 New York Islanders beat reporters for WFUV Sports. Follow me on X at Grace McCarran_ for live game updates, features, and other inside content from the island all season long. From the development of first overall pick Matthew Schaefer to incredible saves by Ilya Sorokin, WFUV Sports has you covered every step of the way as the Isles look towards the postseason. WFUV is your home for New York sports.
And we welcome you back to the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. Anthony Smith alongside Kurt Sippel in a tight basketball game all of a sudden between VCU and Fordham on this Wednesday morning contest. It was a early morning for me and Kurt here, waking up at, well, he woke up a little bit earlier than me because he also went to sleep a little bit earlier, working on my notes for the game here today. But Kurt, an early morning for us, nearly missed shoot-around.
We almost missed the bus to shoot-around this morning, and I would have been very sad after waking up at 4:30 in the morning to try to make it to shoot-around today. So that would have been quite tragic if we missed shoot-around after both. I woke up at 4:30, you woke up at 5:30, Anthony. So it would have been quite tragic if we missed the bus for shoot-around. We had to run downstairs after we got the text and to come down to the bus because they were leaving. Thank God they did not leave, because that would have been very upsetting. But we're back now. Great job by Fordham going on the run, slowing things down just a little bit, playing their brand of basketball. I think that's something that they've been missing in their last stretch of games where they've lost those three, where they're playing their tough defense right now, but they're also being patient on the offensive side and being able to play their brand of basketball, which is aggressive, in your face. They will go for the best shot, and they're doing that right now. The full court press has been quite effective against this VCU squad all season, and Fordham doing it even better because they have so much practice at it.
Doing it once again, this time on Ty Williams, Lucretia Edwards, and Caleb Berry there. Now up top to Gaffon, they get it across the timeline. Now over driving baseline, blocked by Wilson Saltos once again. The putback is no good, but a foul is called on the shot from McKenna White.
Emma Wilson-Saltos has been doing a good job all day today, playing that defense in the paint. Not the tallest guard in the world. Emma Wilson-Saltos is only 6'2", and yet again, a lot of these other people that she's matching up against, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", so it's kind of tough for Emma Wilson-Saltos, but she's been doing a good job at the block as well as racking it up. Right now, with 4 fouls in this game, she needs to cool it down just a little bit with her hands because she cannot be missed out of this game. That would be tough for Fordham to lose.
She checks out of the game as Precious Omashola comes in after McKenna White sinks the first free throw. Back to a 7-point game under a minute and a half to go here in this third period of play. And McKenna White knocks down both free throws. Back to an 8-point basketball game.
Those 2 free throws end the scoring drought for VCU that was about 3 minutes long. Been going on quite long scoring droughts, VCU, throughout this quarter, Anthony.
Now VCU just trying out the full court press a little bit. Not as aggressive as Fordham, as Anastasia Veljovic takes it across the timeline. Up to Easley at the VCU logo. To Veljovic now on the right wing. Veljovic up top, back to Easley. Minute to play in this third quarter. 8 left on the shot clock. Easley spinning around her defender, driving to the right side, and puts one in off the glass. What a job by Karen Easley, who makes it look easy on the way to the basket.
Poised by Karen Easley, driving into the lane, gathering all the defenders. Looked like she was going to kick it out, but instead taking it herself. Defenders were not expecting it.
Ty Williams in a left wing, directing the offense. Left wing, it's Griffin, and a foul is called on Fordham here with 9 left on the shot clock. 32.8 to go in the third quarter.
Right now, 0 attempts from the field by VCU have been knocked down. 3 minutes and 4 seconds they've been scoreless at the basket, only getting these last points from the free throw line. That's why Fordham just has to keep their hands to themselves and not allow these extra possessions by VCU. This team is just going to continue to drive to the lane, and if they see that Fordham's just going a little bit too hard, they're going to take these free opportunities at the line and score the basketball, while Fordham has only gotten it down to 6.
Saria Griffin to the free throw line. Nails her first free throw out of 2. Griffin with 5 assists on the game today. Her career high is 6, which came against the Fordham Rams last year down in the Bronx in a contest that Fordham lost to VCU, as Griffin makes both. Fordham on a 2-game losing streak against this VCU team, 4-6 in the last 10. Lucretia Edwards driving to the left side and kisses one in. Nice easy lane to the basket. Back to a 6-point game.
Fordham experts at breaking this press. VCU not getting back in time, and Lucretia Edwards seeing that takes it right to the basket and kisses it off the backboard to bring Fordham back within 6.
Just the game clock left with 10 seconds. Laya Crespin in the right wing. 2 people on VCU setting up screens. Knezovic, and a travel's called with 3.9. So Fordham, one last chance to draw up a play for a potential last-second basket, which would cut it down to an even shorter lead heading into the final quarter. 48-42 right now.
3 seconds, not usually that long, but for basketball, it can feel like an eternity. Fordham has a chance to drop this play, shoot the ball, and hopefully score and get back into this game even further down.
Easily at the logo, driving to the right side, tries the floater, off back iron, no good. That's the end of the third. A 48-42 lead in favor of the VCU Rams, but Fordham starting to claw their way back into this one, and VCU's got to be careful because the other Rams are right on their tail.
They definitely are. Karen Easley doing a good job there. Very, driving into the lane and putting up that shot. Should have went in, but just not knocking it down again. The rim just not bouncing off. Fordham needing to limit VCU to 1 possession per attempt right now. That's what they need going into this fourth quarter. Limit those 1 possessions by VCU and then go back and dominate those O boards like they do so well and try to get as many possessions possible when you're missing those shots. Fordham coming back and now shooting 35% from the field, 22 from the 3-point range. Fordham needs to keep this hot streak going into the fourth quarter.
And in this third quarter, 17-10, Fordham with a 7-point differential. Much different than those first 2 quarters, but now we head to the fourth to see if VCU can hold on. But before we enter the last 10 minutes, let's get you back to the Rose Hill Studios for another one-on-one scoreboard update with Sam Giangrande.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey New York, Sam here, and today I'm going to bring you across the Atlantic to look at some Champions League soccer, and as a heads up, all these fixtures will be at 3 p.m. Top of the table, Arsenal is hosting Cairo, who are traveling across the continent from Kazakhstan to play at the Emirates. FC Copenhagen will go west to Catalonia to play against Barcelona in the Camp Nou. At the edge of the Iberian Peninsula, Real Madrid will go to the Stadio de Luis to play against Benfica, and at the Saguna Iduna Park, Dortmund vs Inter Milan, a game with the 2 losing sides from the last 2 Champions League finals. The Blues Chelsea will travel to southern Italy to play against Napoli, and up north we see the Kings of Bavaria go to Eindhoven. PSV vs Bayern Munich at the Philips Stadium in the Netherlands. Finally, the reigning champions Paris Saint-Germain will host the Magpies at the Parc des Princes. PSG vs Newcastle. All these games at 3 p.m. with no NFL this week. Maybe you can watch something new. That's all from me. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update. Back to you, Anthony and Kurt in Richmond.
And we welcome you into the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. We got some fourth quarter action here between Fordham and VCU. Anthony Smith alongside Kurt Sippel. But before discussing a little bit of that fourth quarter action, let's kind of see what's at stake here for both VCU and Fordham. For the Rams, not the Fordham Rams, the VCU Rams, the ones in the white jerseys today, 3-3 in their last 6 contests after starting A-10 play, 0-3, and just trying to find themselves back over 500 in conference play. And as for Fordham, on a little bit of a skid in A-10 play, 1-8 on the season, a 2-game losing streak, but a chance to get back on track with a win here today and the return of Alexis Black.
Definitely, Anthony, and for both of these teams, a return to form, hopefully. Coach O'Boyle for VCU has been here for quite some time and has been coaching VCU and has seen the success that this program has brought, and it's been kind of a fall from grace as of recently after leading the A-10 in wins only a few years ago. So VCU just trying to get back within those winning times as well for Fordham Coach B.
Far corner 3, Alexis Black bounces off the side of the iron. Omashola with the rebound. Now Lucretia Edwards near side corner 3, you bet! 48-45, 3-point game. They counted as a 2. Thought Lucretia Edwards was at the line. That's probably the most excited 2 call you'll ever hear, Kurt. But a 4-point game nonetheless. Bounce pass ahead. and it's good. VCU with Lucia Sotelo making it back to a 6-point game. 9:15 to go.
Sotelo breaking the press very well, going up to the wide open lane that Fordham gave her. Coach B definitely not happy after seeing that mess up by Fordham in that breakdown.
Karen Easley in the low block, trying to lay up, and it dances its way down the chute. 50-46. Both teams now exchanging baskets to start off this first quarter. Ty Williams right down the right alley and taps one in.
Yet again, a wide open lane by Fordham, allowing Ty Williams to just roll straight to the rim. Fordham needs to shut that paint valve clean off so that VCU cannot profit from that paint points. They score majority of their points in the paint. They've done that for the last few games.
Defense has gone quiet for both teams. But now a foul called here on Fordham, and it's going to ruin another potential good offensive possession for the Fordham Rams and give VCU the ball back with 8.5 to go here in the fourth quarter.
VCU profiting off these Fordham turnovers at a big rate. 12 points off the Fordham turnovers. Fordham currently with that 12 turnovers, so a point per turnover by VCU.
Ty Williams at the VCU logo. Belonging to Knezevich. And a foul is called on Omashola as the pass to Sotelo didn't even have a chance to think about what she was going to do. She hits the deck, and now the trainer's going to check her out here.
Looks like right now the trainer might be checking her out, but I think she's going to be all right getting up off the floor. Pretty soon, both teams going off the bench. She might need a little bit more extra.
Well, we're going to step aside here with 8:16 to go in this fourth quarter. 52-46 between VCU and Fordham in this year's edition of the Battle of the Rams. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey Devils fans, Tucker Austin here from WFUV Sports, one of your New Jersey Devils beat reporters for the 2025-26 season. From Hughes Brothers Havoc to Heischer hat tricks and Markstrom masterclasses, I'll have you covered live from the Prudential Center for all things Jersey hockey. Follow me on X at @T_Austin_24, where I'll have live game updates, analysis, and post-game coverage all season long as the Black and Red look to bring Lord Stanley back to the Rock. WFUV Sports is your home for everything New Jersey Devils.
And we resume play here under 8 minutes to go. After shot clock resets for VCU, they get their own rebound. Over in the left wing, it's Knezevich driving through the middle of the paint. Out to Preston now. With 2 on the shot clock, puts up a last-second shot, no good. And Caleb Berry slaps it away from McKenna White, so it goes out of bounds on Fordham. And a long offensive possession here for VCU continues.
Fordham allowing that second chance by VCU, especially in this close game, just not really something that you want to do if you're Fordham, because right now you're so close at being able to take this lead back that you're allowing VCU to get these second chance points only allows them to get more momentum.
20 on the shot clock. Out to Ty Williams in the right wing. Back up top, Knezevich. Down low, pass to Griffin. Another pass ahead to Gaffon, and she's fouled on the way up. VCU's bench got up on their feet, but the shot was no good. But Gaffon will still, regardless, head to the free throw line for 2 shots. 7:25 to go in this fourth quarter.
Yet again, VCU taking advantage of Fordham in their play, how they play defense in the paint. Safon just going up and trying to get the basket, and she would have been more than happy scoring the 2 points, but instead also getting those free throw shots, also more than happy doing that. Currently on the day, these are her first free throws that she has knocked down.
She's 36% from the charity stripe on the year. Knocked down her first. Now the second is good. 2 for 2. 54-46 lead for VCU. Ball finally comes back to the left side of the court, and a timeout is called by Coach Bridgette Mitchell of Fordham with 7:21 here in this fourth quarter and a 54-46 lead here for Fordham. wouldn't say they're totally out of it yet because we've seen some improbable comebacks from this Fordham team throughout the year. But at the start of this fourth quarter, things going really well for Fordham. Now it's kind of died down a little bit in these couple minutes.
Coach B just trying to cool her squad down just a little bit. And that's exactly what they're trying to do right now, cool them down, saying try to play the brand of basketball that you're trying to play. Right now we're seeing the coaches on the Fordham side putting up their hands, showing the way that you should be playing defense, because that is so important for this Fordham squad. Play defense the proper way. Don't allow the fouls. Right now, 17 fouls on the day. Coach B has talked about this multiple times, not allowing these foul shots to just keep happening. And now the other thing is, once you keep fouling, especially late in the fourth quarter, allowing the bonus to be put in by VCU early is only going to allow them to get to the line even more, especially later in the day when this game might be close and you can have some fouls to give, maybe some resets. But then it's all straight to the line every time for VCU's free shots.
Absolutely. So a 54-46 lead here with just under 7.5 to go in our final quarter. We're going to take a quick break, but you're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Carino.
And I'm Joe Henry.
Tune in weekly for NFL Friday, your exclusive WFUV sports podcast for all things National Football League.
We'll be covering everything on and off the gridiron for the biggest sports league in the world. Every week on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcast.
Can the Eagles repeat?
Will the Jets or Giants finally take a leap?
What's Shadur up to?
All of that and more on NFL Friday on WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back to the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. Tight contest in this Battle of the Rams between VCU and Fordham, 54-46. But Kurt, first, what is Shadur up to?
Somehow making the Pro Bowl, Anthony. I'm really unsure how that happened. Probably one of the weirdest Pro Bowl selections that's happened in, what would you say, a decade? Probably a little bit more.
I don't know if it's a decade. It might be more than that. It was so shocking. I got the notification. I took a picture of the notification, sent it to Kurt. I was like, when the NFL promo plays, we have to bring this up.
We have to talk about Shadur Sanders, and somehow Shadur Sanders is playing in the Pro Bowl. And good for him, I guess, figuring out a way to market himself enough to get to the Pro Bowl, but I'm not sure if he deserved it.
I don't know how he figured out a way to pull it off and get into the Pro Bowl. Fordham's looking to pull off a comeback win here against VCU with Alexis Black in the right wing. Over to the left wing now, Lucretia Edwards. Down low pass, Omashola. Back out to Alexis Black. Left wing, Lucretia Edwards going to pull the trigger. Hits no good. Omashola on the putback is fouled. The putback rolled around the rim and fell out. So it's going to be 2 shots at the line for Precious Omashola, the sophomore out of London, England.
Precious Omashola needing to knock down these 2 free throw shots, her first of the day after knocking down a field goal earlier in the game in the third quarter. Precious Omashola misses her first. That's a killer for Fordham with these 7 minutes to go. Every point counts right now, Anthony, when it turns into crunch time.
Omashola, her second shot is good. She's got 12 points in her last 2 games, 15 rebounds as well. Went from having 12 minutes in 2 games combined before St. Louis, averaging 20 in the last 2. She's someone that's seen a lot of playing time in these past couple contests.
Coach B usually plays the people that deserve it the most, and that's exactly what she's been doing. Precious Omashola is showing her value, and she does it.
And she shows it right there, intercepting the pass. Trying to find someone to throw it to, and gets it off to Kayla Berry in the left wing. Now at the V in the VCU logo, Mason Hill hands it off to Karen Easley. 6:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Fordham down by 7. Easily, slowly dribbling the ball. Now kind of picking up the pace. Going to try a mid-range jumper. Pops out. Rebound up for grabs. Omashola there again. Down low. Pass to Kayla Berry. Taps in the bunny. Huge offensive possession for Fordham. Once again, another full press. VCU beats it easily. Going down to the left side. It's Preston who misses the jumper. And Kayla Berry takes control. Hands it off to Karen Easley. And a foul is called. Looks like it was Veljovic and Deja Preston involved on the near side of the court.
I was unsure about that call because I wasn't able to be looking at it because I saw it down there on the other side of the court. If they do replay it in the stadium, would like to see what that looked like on the other side. Coach B didn't look very happy with that foul call. But just then, Anthony, we talked about the value of Precious Omashola. She started that entire offensive swing for Fordham.
Said her name a lot in this past minute. 54-49, under 6 to play in the right wing. Saria Griffin. Talia Crespin. Cross-court pass intercepted by Veljovic. Nice move by Veljovic, working inside. Now getting triple team out to Easy. Left wing triple. No good. Kicks off the back of the attachment. And another foul called on Fordham. VCU ball.
That's the shot for Karen Easley that you have to knock down. Karen Easley, a wide open look to the basket, straight on three. Fordham would have been within 2 points, Anthony, 2 points. And now VCU in the bonus, so every foul from here on out, they'll be going to the line.
In the bonus with 5.5 left in the fourth quarter. As Saria Griffin knocks down her first free throw.
Not to bring this away from the game, but one of my roommates said that Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl a few years ago. So that might be the last time that we saw probably one of the worst people to make the Pro Bowl.
I forgot about that Tyler Huntley one. As Griffin knocks down the second, kind of rolled around the rim for a good couple seconds. 56-49, but really back Tyler Huntley, I mean, I think you should understand is a much more popular pick because he plays, 7 games, and it wasn't all the great stats. And it's just Tyler Huntley was, I think that was the year that Lamar was hurt, but still interesting nonetheless. With 5.5 to go as we switch back to basketball here. Alexis Black, far side corner, 3, gets her own rebound off the miss, and misses the bunny. Omashola with the rebound, though, and Easley now with it. Up top, Alexis Black. Shot clock resets. Alexis Black sizes up her defender, going through the right side of the paint, puts up the shot, and it's no good. 0 for 3 for Alexis Black on that offensive possession alone. Now, Kayla Berry almost winds up with a steal, and it goes out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be another foul called here on the Rams.
Seems like the Rams of VCU there, Anthony. But yet again, Alexis Black trying her best to score the basketball as much as possible, trying to get up and in, but not able to knock down her shots. That is something that really takes the wind out of your sails after you go on that run by Precious Omashola, running back and forth, getting those extra possessions and playing that extra basketball. The wind just completely sinks your ship after you aren't able to knock down those 3 shots by Alexis Black. And yet again, VCU back at the line. They've been scoreless for 3 minutes and 49 seconds from the field goal. They have not knocked down a field goal shot in nearly 4 minutes. So Fordham has to profit off of this by scoring from the field goal line.
It's Ann Zacharia to the free throw line. Missed her first shot after it ricocheted off and nails the second. So the junior out of India makes it a 57-49 game with 5 minutes now left in the game. Alexis Black over to Lucretia Edwards. Near side corner triple. No good. Rebound gathered in by Knezovic. VCU over in the left wing now. Here's Griffin for 3 and drains it. 11-point game. Saria Griffin with 4.5 to go. Alexis Black on the right wing. Top of the paint. Back to Lucretia Edwards in the left wing. Now heads it back to Alexis Black. Now here's Edwards again for a triple and rattles one through.
Finally seeing one go through for Lucretia Edwards in this fourth quarter. Fordham needs a lot more where that came from and continue their heavy defense on VCU. That went scoreless in 4 minutes from the field, and Fordham allowing them for that last shot.
Strong answer from Fordham. 8-point game, 4 minutes left. Pass taken away by Kayla Berry. Dashing down the court. Up for the layup, and it's good. Tried to bait into a foul. None called.
I'm not sure if that was bait into a foul, Anthony. That looked like that she might have been fouled. I think that she definitely was fouled off of that play. A tough play by Kayla Berry, and VCU calling a timeout now within a 6-point lead by Fordham. A 6-point deficit by Fordham, cutting it down just a little bit more. Fordham needs to keep their poise and keep this basketball game within reach, because they can get there with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left. This VCU team has been going quite cold from the field in this later half of the third quarter, so Fordham just has to continue trying to light it up and getting to their shots and getting those second possessions.
A 60-54 game with 3:43 to go in this fourth quarter. But you look at Fordham, they got to avoid the fouls, but they have none left to give. VCU in the bonus, and you also have 3 Rams that are in foul trouble. Emma Wilson-Saltos, Mason Hill, and Anastasia Veljovic. And that's huge for Emma Wilson-Saltos, who leads the team in rebounds and is going to be a threat on the offense and defensive side of the glass, who you may not, as she walks back out onto the court here, though.
I was just about to say, Anthony, 3 Fordham Rams with 4 fouls and 1 with 1 foul in Kayla Berry. Not people that you can lose if you're the Fordham Rams. Every player in today's game has played such a key, integral role, playing complete team basketball.
Down low pass, Zacharia wide open, misses the bunny. Up for grabs, multiple players hitting the deck. And it looks like going to be a kick ball.
It's going to be a jump ball, it seems like, Anthony. And that's going to stay on VCU Rams.
Was looking at the baseline ref. Looked like she pointed to the foot there.
There's the mass of humanity there, so it seemed like quite hard to see what was going on.
60-54, 3.5 left. Gafan gets it on the inbound. Emma Wilson-Saltos right there to the defender. And a foul is called. Ref doesn't give a signal on who it is against. And it's going to be on Emma Wilson-Saltos.
She's out of this game now. Emma Wilson-Saltos, that was her 5th foul, and now she's gone from this game. Both of these, the team as well as the referees, are very... The Fordham team is arguing with the referees currently about that foul call. Just not one that you would call right now, as we see Coach B on the Jumbotron talking about that foul call. Looked like Emma Wilson-Saltos might have had her feet set for the charge as we look back here.
I thought that was easily.
I also thought it was easily, and that looks like that is a charge we just saw there. There's been some questionable calls on this game, Anthony, if I do say so, because that was a charge on Karen Easley. Her feet were set on the inside, and that she should have gotten that call.
Not only that, that just was not the right player. I think that you were supposed to call it on. I mean, I get kind of getting mixed up with 13-3 between Wilson-Saltos and Easley, but at this point of the game, it's huge. Now Wilson-Saltos out of the game, and Easley had multiple fouls to give. She only has 1 on the game.
But yet again, Emma Wilson-Saltos, her stat line might not jump out, but those 5 rebounds have been integral.
Gafan misses both free throws. Ball goes out of bounds on the intended rebound from VCU, so Fordham ball. VCU winds up with no points on offensive possession. Huge for this Fordham team as they try and get themselves back into this game. Or not back into this game, at least tie it. They've been chasing VCU all game. 60-54. For Fordham, it's Kayla Berry, Alexis Black, Lucretia Edwards, Precious Omashola, and Karen Easley. And for VCU, Saria Griffin and Zacharia, Lucy Gafan, McKenna White, and Deja Preston as Alexis Black takes it down the far side of the court. Alexis Black struggling to get a pass off, and she traveled on the attempted pass. See, and Zacharia hype after making that defensive stop, forcing the travel. And late in this game, that's not the kind of offensive possessions you want to see.
Not the turnover that you want if you're Fordham. Again, now you're giving VCU another opportunity at the basket, trying to pull away with 3 minutes left to go.
Laya Crespin checks back in for VCU. Pass it along McKenna White. Back up top, Crespin. Double team now by Easley and Barry. Struggling to find anything to do with it, and a timeout is called by Beth O'Boyle, the head coach of VCU. Gets it off in time. Now 3 minutes to go.
Anthony Beth O'Boyle really trying not to let her VCU squad turn the ball over and give an opportunity to Fordham, because Fordham has profited so much off of that going out to run after a turnover, because VCU really doesn't catch up to them very well. So that's something that VCU is trying to avoid, especially with this Fordham trap defense. Right now, both teams matched pretty evenly in this fourth quarter, 12-12. Both scored so far, so Fordham has to figure out a way to pull away here.
Former A-10 Coach of the Year, Beth O'Boyle, finds the right time to call a timeout. Mentioned before, VCU's all-time wins leader has clutched 6 postseason bursts in 11 seasons. Career record of 276 to 236. Also coached Stony Brook and Montclair State University.
Coach O'Boyle really has helped this program revitalize and bring VCU into the upper echelons of A-10 women's basketball.
Near side corner, Zachariah going to try a triple. Bounces up and in. How about that look there for VCU? Now a 9-point game, and that's just unlucky for this Fordham team.
One of the luckiest bounces I think I've ever seen there, Anthony. The bounce off the rim to go right into the basket.
Left wing Alexis Black passes it up top to Easley. Now Edwards, who hands it back off to Easley. Moves it from left to right. Alexis Black back up top. 7 left on the shot clock. Lucretia Edwards. Down low pass. Presses on Mashallah. Bounces over Lucretia Edwards. Misses the floater. Gets her own rebound. Tries the near side corner 3. Kicks off the back iron. And a foul called on Fordham. Unsure of who the ref is trying to signal here. Going to be VCU ball anyways. Or rather foul shots, because they are in the bonus. With a chance to now take a double-digit lead again.
This is one of the issues that has been happening to Fordham almost all the time, is the fouling that they are doing to this VCU squad and to every squad that they've played. It's just that when the game comes down to the line, they're unable to figure out a clean way to close it. So fouling, turning the ball over. When VCU gave you the opportunity, you were unable to take it. Now this is happening where VCU is back out the line. Yet again, Lucy Gaffon, not a great free throw shooter, only 36%. But even if she knocks down one, you're back within a 10-point game with about 2 minutes left to go.
Misses the first. So we saw Coach Bridget Mitchell talking with Alexis Black, Karen Easy, and Lucretia Edwards as Gaffon was at the free throw line. Makes the second 10-point game. Coach Mitchell kind of talking with, I guess, what would seem like the 3 players that you would trust most to try and get you as much points in these final 2 minutes here. Easily on the far side of the court. Over to the right wing, Lucretia Edwards. Driving to the left side, now puts up the free throw jumper and hits. 2 points are good for Edwards, 64-56.
Lucretia Edwards penetrates on that A-10 logo, takes that step back, gets that room from her defender, and is able to shoot. Impressive play by Lucretia Edwards, and she's 15 points, leading all scorers.
The left wing, and Zachariah. Now the far corner, back to Zachariah on the free throw line, blocked by Kayla Berry. They're going to call a foul on it. And that, if that is called on Kayla Berry, that's going to be it for her.
That's her last minutes of this game as she fouls out as well. Fordham now up to 22 fouls on today's game. 23 fouls for the correction. That is just pretty much not acceptable for Fordham, Anthony. It's quite tough, especially playing this VCU's team. They have the opportunity where they could foul out 4 Fordham Rams today with only 1:31 left to go.
The second person to foul out for Fordham as Zachariah nails the first free throw out of 2. Season high in personal fouls for this Fordham team is 30. Zachariah nails both free throws. Fordham just 7 away from that mark. Now with a minute and a half to go. Down by 10 easily. At her own pace, moves over to the left wing. Over to Alexis Black, right wing, catch and shoot, 3. Hits the side, ricochets, back to Omashola. And she puts in the 2.
Precious Omashola trying to will her Fordham Rams back into this game with that bounce back 2.
2-on-1 though, and Preston all the way to the rim and misses the layup. Huge 2 points missed there for VCU. Fordham now with Alexis Black. Cutting to the right side. Step back Jay. No good. Veljovic taps it away to Lucretia Edwards on the near corner. Passes it along to Karen Easley up top. Alexis Black back over to Easley. Edwards left wing triple. Pops up. Rebound up for grabs. Omashola tried to get it. And it looks like going to be a foul this time on VCU. Lucky break there for Fordham. Foul was called after Precious Omashola tried climbing the ladder to get that board. Inbound's going to come in on the VCU baseline.
Fordham needs a quicker bucket here with 41 seconds left and a good trap. So VCU is unable to score on that other side. The foul would be the last thing that you want to do to let them get more shots.
Chucks it ahead to Easley. Back to Alexis Black, left wing. Sides up her defender. Mid-range jumper hits the side. Veljovic for the rebound, and they're going to say she stepped out of bounds. As impressive effort to try and get that ball back into play. But with 33 seconds now to go, 66-58 VCU ball.
Fordham needs a good trap here like they've done all game. The attempt to trap and then try and score the basketball with only 33 seconds left. The foul should be the last thing that they go for.
Lia Crespin gets it. Lucretia Edwards, just as you said, Kurt, what you don't think you want Fordham to do, they do immediately. Lucretia Edwards gets the foul.
I mean, once they get up court and the shot clock goes off, you kind of have to start fouling, Anthony. The foul game is one that's pretty bad because they now have been in the bonus for almost the last 5 minutes of this game. So and they're allowing them to go to the line after every foul that they've given. Fordham right now has given up 17 points to VCU at the free throw line.
Now you get Lia Crespin to the charity stripe, who is second on the team in free throw percentage. She's got 11 combined points, though, in 4 straight games. It's 27% from the field in the last 4 as well. Coming off a 0-point performance in their last contest against Davidson. Hits the first free throw, though. Low total in points, but it seems like Crespin has been everywhere on the offensive side, just kind of directing this VCU offense. And she's got both free throws, back to a 10-point game, and a timeout's called by Fordham.
Fordham having 3 timeouts to take, so they have a lot of time to try to draw up these plays and try to get back within this. 10 points with 28.8 seconds to go, Anthony, is a tough one, but Fordham has the ability to get back into this. I know the shooting has been poor at best today with 5 of 27 from the three-point line. Right now, Alexis Black is not with her usual self, how efficient she usually is. 3 of 17 from the field goal. 0 of 7 from 3 by Alexis Black. Not her normal numbers when Alexis Black is normally a 39% shooter from both ranges, from the long range as well as the field goal. So Fordham just has to figure something out here. Give it to the hot hand right now, and that is Lucretia Edwards, who has 15 points on the night, or Karen Easley. Yet again, the fouls are going to get a little hectic because you might be without Anastasia Veljovic and Mason Hill if they check in here, as Anastasia Veljovic is in this game. So it's going to be hard because you're going to have to start going to other players on the bench if they foul out.
Throughout these last couple games, 16% from deep is Fordham if you factor out Lucretia Edwards. Karen is a top of the key triple. Hits the side of the rim. Rebound controlled by VCU. Fordham not fouling but playing a full court press. Griffin struggling to get it across the timeline. Finally does, out to Knezovic. Bounce pass to Gaffon. And a foul is called on Karen Easley with 7.4 ticks reading on the clock. Just about going to do it here from the Siegel Center.
The rest of this scoring will be cosmetic, as Fordham is unable to break a 3-game losing streak, and it will go back to a 4-game losing streak now, Anthony, And yet again, VCU did majority of this at the free throw line in these last few minutes. Yet again, no free field goals for 2 minutes and 46 seconds as Gaffon misses her first free throw. But yet again, VCU not scoring any points from the field. And Fordham unable to also score 0 of 4 from their last 4 in the field. So it's got very tough for Fordham. Another really gut-wrenching loss for this Fordham Rams squad, but you got to pick up and keep going.
Coming off a free throw attempt, season low with 6 last game, only 10 this game, as the triple missed by Mason Hill. Zachariah recovers it, holds on to it. The buzzer goes off, clock hits triple zeros. This game is over, 69-58, in a battle of the Rams between Fordham and VCU, as the Rams in maroon drop their 3rd straight A-10 loss. VCU gets over 500 now in conference play. And for Fordham, as they enter this second half of the A-10 season, just starting to not look good as the A-10 tournament approaches.
A tough next few minutes for a tough next few games for Fordham. You play Rhode Island, Loyola Chicago, LaSalle, who gave you some problems, but you played them close. St. Louis, Duquesne should be a win. They're at the bottom of the conference. They've yet to even win a game yet this season. It's going to be tough for Fordham. You have 2 games against the top opponent in the A-10 in Rhode Island. You're going to have to try to figure this out. You're going to have to try to pick yourself up. Right now, all the goal is you're not going to be at the top of the A-10. All of the goal is to try to win as many games as possible to try to get yourself back within the point where you can miss the bye, where you can get to the bye and play less games in the A-10 tournament. Fordham needs some help right now in the scoring department. Alexis Black is back, but that is a good sign. They cannot foul as much. They have to stop turning the ball over as much as well. The other issue is a Fordham team that is so good at rebounding, getting out-rebounded 42-35, Anthony. Not something that you'll normally see from this Fordham Rams squad. Something that they're going to definitely be watching the tape for this entire next game.
And we mentioned the size advantage for VCU hasn't been much of a factor throughout this season, but it was a factor here today, out-rebounding Fordham. And now, regarding some of those players on the Rams, Alexis Black, despite her return, Fordham's unable to come up with a win. 9 points in this game for Alexis Black. Her season low is 5, but that was coming in a game where she didn't even play the first half of against St. Joseph's. And then Fordham, I think they could start to rely on Lucretia Edwards a lot more going forward. 4 out of her last 5 contests, make it 5 out of her last 6 now, counting today, has recorded double digits. 15 points in today's game, and has been such an offensive key for this Fordham team when Alexis Black has been injured. And I think despite Alexis Black coming back, Lucretia Edwards should still be a key part of the game plan going forward.
Lucretia Edwards is definitely a key part of this game plan for this Fordham Rams squad. Fordham just has to figure something else out now. I mean, the offense has to start clicking eventually, Anthony. You could play all the good defense you want. If you're going to get outscored in every game, there's no way that you will win these contests.
Absolutely there, Kurt. Well, a tough road continues for Fordham. They play on Saturday at against Rhode Island, back home in the Bronx after this crazy week of traveling, not only for them, but for us too, Kurt, as well. But we've battled through it. Again, final score here today on this Wednesday morning contest, 69-58, VCU with the win over Fordham. Let's get you back over to the Rose Hill Studios for the final time for the one-on-one post-game report. Here's Abby Cristofaro and Sam Giangrande.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Thanks, Anthony. The VCU Rams pull out the win 69-58 at home in Richmond with Fordham's 3rd straight A-10 loss. Sam Giangrande and I are going to break down this half for you, but first we have a one-on-one scoreboard report.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey, New York, let's quickly go around the A-10 and get ourselves on the court. Duquesne are going south to the Robins Center to take on Richmond. Tip-off at 6 p.m. And at the same time, St. Louis will visit the nation's capital to play against GW in the Charles E. Smith Center. An hour later at 7 p.m., St. Bonaventure versus Dayton University, a clash of two powerhouses in the A-10 at the UD Arena. Finally, at the same time, George Mason will go to North Carolina in the John M. Belk Arena to play Davidson. And on the men's side, we see the inverse of the women's fixture, since Davidson will travel up to George Mason to play in the Eagle Bank Arena at 7 p.m. And at the same time, the Bonnies are going to the Steel City of Pittsburgh to play Duquesne. And finally, our hometown Rams will host the La Salle tonight at 7 p.m. So you make sure to listen to that game on 90.7 FM. That's all from me. I'm Sam Giangrano with the one-on-one scoreboard update.
All right. Thank you, Sam. So it seems like your halftime prediction was correct with that. They were going to come back a little bit in the third, never take the lead, but definitely heat up a little bit, and then crash in the fourth quarter, which is what we saw. So the end of the third quarter was 48-42, only a 6-point difference, so a little bit more momentum getting there. But in the fourth quarter, we saw all of that progress towards not getting any fouls kind of diminish, and Emma Wilson-Salters and Kayla Berry both followed out of the game, and 17 points were given to VCU at the free throw line. So, and I think that might have been 18 up at the final score. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I hate to say that I am right. I was hoping that
something would happen.
This could be put against me, and I was wrong. But 17 points from fouls is just incredible. That Fordham really was close. They could have done this. They could have.
Yeah, and you only lost by 11.
And I agree. The final score wasn't even too far, but it would have been so much closer. They could have won if they just weren't fouling that much. I think at that point you gotta call a timeout and just say, what are you doing? You can't be nice in this situation. You can't be nice to your players and just talk like your friends, like your chums around the water cooler. You gotta be like, what are you doing? You can't be fouling.
There needs to be some responsibility at the end of the day. If 17 points are coming from fouls, you have to just kind of be like, this is the deal, guys. Like, we can't be doing this. And I think you see that a lot in football as well, and a lot more accountability. So hopefully they get it under control, which they kind of did in the first half. So I was a little bit surprised with how many fouls and two people fouling out. But yeah, so they panicked, I think, is what happened.
Definitely. It very much was a panic. They got nervous. It's almost, I don't know really the best analogy to use, but you get so anxious that you're about to do something.
Almost.
Exactly. That's a perfect word, frantic.
Yeah.
You like, oh, we can do this, but you just get so jittery at the end, and then it causes them to get so nervous.
Yeah, and I think that also with Alexis Black coming in, it's kind of a lot of uncertainty with how you're going to play. And I don't know. I just think that this is really disheartening for the Fordham Rams, as like we said, this was a very evenly matched team. They shouldn't have lost by 11, but you can see that these mistakes are coming from sloppy errors on the team. You need to be more focused, not getting those fouls. You need to be more focused and not getting those turnovers. So, it's just kind of being more concise and thoughtful about your actions and your plays that I think will really get them to maybe a success. But looking ahead, I'm not super confident in their win on Saturday, their next game against URI, which is 9-0 in the conference of the A10 and 18-2 overall. So what are your predictions for that game?
I mean, this is something Fordham should be nervous for. There's no sugarcoating it. You can't really go easy into this. If 9-0 going against the other Rams, the third Rams.
The third Rams of the day.
The third ones, but this is a game where, let's be real, the odds are against them. We never know what could happen. Sports is a game of mystery. We don't know what could happen then, but going to this game, you got to take responsibility, and there has to be accountability and leadership on this team, especially from all the times they sent VCU to the line.
Yeah, it's almost like a little bit of damage control should be expected for Saturday. Obviously, you're going to hope that your team wins, but at the end of the day, with the best team in the conference, you kind of want to not make it humiliating. You want to make sure that the gap between you guys isn't as big as people are expecting. You want to give them a fight. You don't want them to be like, this is an easy bye week. So it's just kind of maintaining that confidence and remembering that you are also an A10 team as well as this team is. They just might be a little bit better in their record, but that doesn't mean you can't come back from it.
100%. And you can lose a basketball game and you can lose a
basketball
game.
For sure.
If for people who can't see you, kind of use an arm gesture to show you can lose one, if that makes sense. You can get blown out. It can be a humiliating game. even though they are such a high-ranked team, I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if Fordham lost between under 10 points. If it was a one-score game, I think it would be a lot more of a momentum drive than if they got completely blown
Yeah,
out.
it would give you some confidence that you're still in this
100%.
conference. Yeah, well, I think that does it for us. An early afternoon sign off for us today with the final score of 69-58 with the VCU Rams on top. The women's basketball team looks to face URI Saturday at 2 p.m. and tonight men's basketball faces LaSalle at 7. Thanks again to our crew, Griffin Stevenson on production, Ethan Wax on graphics, my co-host Sam Giangrande, with Anthony Smith and Kurt Sippel at the game. Bobby Ciafardini, our sports director, and once again, this broadcast is a production of WFUV Sports.